Chris, you should know better than to agitate your father as soon as we're starting what we're doing here. You come into the room and your dad has limped in with a cane and you're badgering him about, you get emotional these days about anything. And you say, you weeped on the podcast. And I really thought your father was going to correct you there and say, it's wept, kid. I'm a writer. I thought he was going to be offended. He didn't do that. He said, weeped is too strong. Fought back a tear or two is how he would phrase it. So why are you getting so emotional and fighting back tears but not weeping?
Okay, there's an obvious line there. Everybody knows it. When you weep, you're like openly almost sobbing. Weeping is the neighbor of sobbing.
It might be the neighbor of sobbing, but it's not a synonym with sobbing.
Yeah.
Weeping is the stop before sobbing.
Okay, I think they're neighbors. I think they're exchanging cups of sugar.
End of the cul-de-sac.
They're friendly.
They're on the
down the
same street, but end of the cul-de-sac.
Okay, weeping and sobbing to me are you're going.
That's sobbing.
Okay, well, to me that's weeping.
That's being a sissy.
To me,
I
weeping
wept.
is just like
I wept.
Weeping is silent to me. Sobbing is loud.
a few breaths. Weeping is just a few breaths. You know I'm crying. It's
Okay. At any rate,
Sobbing has shoulders shaking. It's a bit uncontrollable. Weeping is single tears. Sobbing is a flume of tears.
I don't agree with that
There's
at all.
no such
I think
thing as a
weeping
single
requires
tear.
several tears.
Yeah, thank you.
Weeping is stronger than crying.
I said
Yes,
weeping
it
is single tears, not a single tear. It's just a tear or two or three or four, whereas sobbing is just a river of tears. You can't control it. Weeping is the stop before sobbing.
weeping is a single file line of tears, one at a time. Whereas sobbing, it's like they're everywhere. They're just pouring down my face.
you're giving sobbing too much credit. Weeping is about as emotional as you get. When you weep, there's nothing left. Like weeping is I almost said worse. Weeping is more than sobbing.
No.
In my opinion.
No.
Yes.
No,
Yeah.
This is wild.
Yeah. Sob is bad.
Okay, well, can we get to the answer to the question, please?
I forgot.
What was the question?
Why are you getting emotional? Why are you fighting back tears, weeping, sobbing?
I mean, a couple of things came up on my podcast that made me emotional. I mean, I do find the older I get, the more prone I am to weeping, not sobbing, but weeping.
Where's bawling on the list?
Oh, bawling, please.
See, now sobbing and bawling, neighbors. They might even be like in the same apartment building.
Tell you who's balling, Norman Powell.
Yeah.
You know
See-
about that Norman Powell, Zaz?
That's my gimmick, yo.
When by the way, I lauded the Norman Powell trade. That's another thing I predicted right. When I referred to it
Wait a
as.
minute. Wait a minute. Another thing you predicted right? Are you going to take credit for the Dolphins today?
Well, yeah. I mean, you saw the game Sunday. The Dolphins showed up. It took them until mid-season, but they showed up. My Dolphins.
Another thing you predicted
Yeah.
right?
I lauded the Norman Powell. I called it a pickpocket for Pat Riley. He got Norman Powell for nothing. Now Norman Powell ranks on everyone's early season MVP list.
He was an all-star last year, wasn't he? Or he was an all-star, correct?
So just to confirm, you right from the get-go, you thought it was a good trade, Norman Powell, and just giving up Kevin Love and Kyle Anderson.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
I need
Thank
your
you.
support.
Norman Powell was not an all-star. He was a snub last year.
See
He
there?
was just on the outside looking in.
But the Heat saw something.
All right, so
in-
gonna be an all-star.
So the
Saw
Norman
something,
Powell
yeah.
story, just to be clear, you figured out the way to make that about you.
Well, I mean, nobody else was applauding the Norman
Everybody
Powell.
was.
No.
Greg.
No.
Greg, Mike Ryan went from being out on the Heat to never mind, I cancel all my opinions based on nothing but the acquisition of Norman Powell.
The thing about that is he's got such a plain name. There's never been a Norman Powell that excites you.
There was never a moment you thought Kevin Love, Kyle Anderson, too much.
No.
Nobody thought that.
Yes,
That's
he's
dead
kidding.
wood.
Give
They're
me-
pieces of driftwood.
Give me the greatest norm ever in the history of sports norms. Sports norm.
Nixon.
Is that going to be the best? The third guy on the champion Lakers? The fourth guy on the champion Lakers team?
No.
The fourth guy on the champion Lakers team, Norm Nixon, is going to be
I
the
know
greatest.
who Norm Nixon is, but tell Tony.
I want
Showtime
Norman.
Lakers, baby. Come on.
Norman, not Norm. Norm outranks Norman. I'm looking for a great Norman.
So Norm outranks Norman, and sob doesn't outrank. Weeping outranks
Yes.
sobbing.
Weeping has an emotional level to it that sobbing does not.
All right, we're off to a roaring start here.
Josh.
Basketball.
Basketball is back, Jack. Time for our favorite winter sport. The summertime is over, so let's head down to the court. Time for the tip-off. Give me fast breaks on the attack. Will you shoot a three or take it to the rack? Basketball is back, Jack. It's a dream shake down in the post, or a killer cross you love the most. When the offense tries to run and gun, is it man-to-man or box and one? It's big plays and talking smack. That's how you know that basketball is back, Jack. Let me hear you say basketball, basketball, basketball. Basketball is back, Jack. 360 dunks and pick and roll. And we're gonna watch it every day till they raise the Larry O. Hard fouls and hook shots, a dagger three and hack a shack. If you say this game's the best, I'll say's a gag. Basketball is back, Jack. Basketball is back, Jack. Basketball is back. Basketball is back, Jack.
That was a really great basketball game
What a night.
last night.
What a night.
And Greg Cody insists that he's right about the Dolphins, and I will get to those things in a second. But I have to start with our old friend, Greg Cody, limping in here with his trick knee and a cane that has made him emotional for good reason. Jeremy asked me during the intro, is wailing atop bawling, sobbing, and weeping? Because I think wailing is, if we're talking about being in tears, I think weeping is the beginning of the highway toward your falling apart. Weeping is the beginning of that. I think it goes weeping, sobbing, bawling, wailing.
Where's crying?
Crying's the starting point. Crying is ground zero.
But where do you have blubbering on that list? Because blubbering, I don't know if that's above wailing, but it's right there.
Blubbering has to be above sobbing, doesn't it? Although sobbing has some blubbering, does it not?
Blubbering's a cartoon word.
I think hysterical is obviously that's a very deep cry. I think wailing is the deep cry with like that's a wail, okay? And blubbering, you also have snot bubbles.
Blubbering is the.
Yeah, that's snot bubbles.
No, that's sniveling.
That's sobbing as
sniveling.
well.
I'm blubbering.
though. That's sobbing too, though.
So what are we calling this? We're calling this the Tears of Tears?
That's what we're doing, Roy.
Good
we're
start for
doing
Roy.
the tears of tears.
An important tier, the No Shaw Moreno during the national anthem tier. Where does that rank? Because that is a massive tier.
That's the fight in Detroit. That's what that is.
All right, you guys got to figure out how it is to get me to the best of the ugly criers you've ever seen in sports, because now we have to get to who classifies for wailing, bawling, sobbing, weeping in the history of sports.
A good crier in sports, Thomas Hill. After Christian Laettner makes the shot, Thomas Hill, ugly crier.
Can you guys think off of the top of your head of some time you have seen an athlete just sobbing? Oddly enough, the image that surprises me as we talk about it is Udonis Haslem in the Heat locker room in 2006. I don't think that's something that was public, but I just was startled by it because it's someone since I'd covered since high school, and all of his emotion never looked like that. Like, obviously, you know how much he cares.
That was sobbing.
But that was sobbing, and I was just caught off guard by it.
I think sobbing has a volume to it. Like, I don't think you sob quietly. I think if you're sobbing, someone else with their eyes closed knows it. That guy's sobbing, because sobbing is a heaving.
I think everything after weeping that we described here has a sound to it that you can hear with your eyes closed.
How about Nancy Kerrigan? But that was more pain inflicted.
Okay, but that was sobbing. That's wailing. That's wailing.
Wailing Jennings.
I knew that was coming.
He's right about that,
As soon
though.
as we said wailing.
You have to.
Anyway, the emotion that we were talking about with your cane. You come in here in a cane. Your son told us yesterday. I also want to get to Jumpin' Charlie because you were complaining about his weight gain and how generally unruly he is, your dog. But Chris is alleging, the reason we're talking about wailing, sobbing, and gnashing and all of these things is because Chris is alleging that you get more emotional now than you ever have, and you get emotional, he's claiming, over some small things like him just telling you that your granddaughter went to soccer practice. So what's happening with your cane right now?
Well, here it is. Here it's a lovely wooden cane that.
Are you gonna cry now? Because if you are, like, I gotta mentally prepare.
No,
for that.
no, I'm
I
not.
would prepare yourself.
No, I'm not gonna cry right now. But this cane, I believe it was bought in a deep South general store, like in North Carolina or someplace, and it was my dad's late in his life when he used the cane, and this cane had not been touched for more than a decade. It had been.
I did use it as my first foray as the owner of the Cyclones. I
That's
had the
true, you
cowboy
did.
hat and
You're
the
right.
cane.
Yeah, but
But
I don't
outside
think,
of that, it hadn't been
Is
used
that
in a
desecrating
decade.
it or no?
I think it is desecration.
just making sure.
Yeah.
I think
Well
that's
put by
honoring
Tony.
it. I think. Wait a minute. What do you
It
think?
fit the character.
We need the judge. Is that honoring him or is it desecrating it? We'll get to the rest of the story, but let's make Zaslow.
Give me the details again, real quick.
Make a ruling. Greg Cody was alleging that this cane of his father's, Wild Bill Cody, had not been used in 10 years. It had been in the garage or somewhere else.
Yeah, it had been on two nails on top of a door in the garage.
Okay, so-
had not been used by me in more than a decade.
All right, hold on a second. Before we go down this path, that garage is an atrocity. If there is anything being honored,
My atrocity.
it is your atrocity. That garage has been an atrocity for 40 years. It is dirty. It is out of saw. It is awful. But if there is anything being honored in there, I might think that that's the only thing because there's nothing else that you put up on a wall that's been above the door in your garage since your father was alive, I feel
Yes,
like.
Correct. Yes. Absolutely.
When did he pass away?
2006?
Okay, so that's the only thing in your garage that is an honor of any kind to anyone.
Yeah, right.
All right, so he's saying that it hadn't been taken off for 10 years, but one day, old parasol-wielding owner of the Cyclones comes in there and says, I need something funny as an outfit for my owner of a highlight team. And he reaches up there. It's probably dusty, right? It's probably because I don't see your father cleaning that a whole lot. You reach up there and you grab what you think is a gimmick to give to give your ownership of the highlight team some personality. And so the question before Zaz is: was Chris Cody honoring Wild Bill Cody, or was he desecrating what was happening with Wild Bill Cody?
All rise. The Honorable Jonathan Zaslow now presiding with prejudice.
I need one final piece of information, and it comes from Greg Cody. Did you know that Christopher was taking the cane for this event?
I don't believe I did.
Now, with that said, how would you have felt if you knew that he was taking it for this event?
I would have been taken aback a little bit. I would have been surprised.
I made my ruling.
Whoa.
It's a disgrace.
Oh, my God.
With prejudice.
Unforgivable.
Unforgiven. That's all I needed to hear. That's the only information I needed right there. That's a disgrace.
Well,
I support the ruling.
Okay, if it's true, if it is indeed true, and I'm not sure it is because I can see Greg forgetting, but I can also see his son not asking permission because he knew that permission was going to be no. That
Ask for forgiveness. Learn that from around here.
Ask for forgiveness, not for permission. Yeah, I was trying to teach that the entire time at ESPN. They never really believed in it. So tell us the story then. Forgive us for interrupting you. Excellent ruling. Tony, good work by you. In fact, delayed penalty on Chris Cody for desecrating Wild Bill Cody's cane.
Do a penalty for that?
Minor penalty, 2 minutes, asshole.
Very specific penalty.
It's 2 minutes for asshole. It's not 2 minutes, comma, asshole. Like, I don't know why they read it like that. It might be because they don't know how to do comedy. Who did that?
You know who did that.
It's 2 minutes.
Come on, you know.
It's 2 minutes for being an asshole, and it should be 5 minutes. Anyway, tell us the story of the cane,
I'm
please.
just curious, though, in the history of the show, who is the previous person penalized for desecrating a cane? I'm just curious how common that particular
I was
ruling
once disrespectful of Warren Sapp. Come on,
is.
that's
saw
a
what you
good
did
joke.
there. I saw what you did.
Come
there.
on, that's
No,
a
I saw
good
what you did
joke.
there.
In the
Yeah.
local hour, a cane joke?
No, that's
Oh,
no, that wasn't bad.
Prejudice.
Thank you, Roy.
the bad breath joke.
It wasn't bad.
Oh, man, it's a legendary joke. Stugotz got me in trouble with Warren Sapp for saying that he had chronic halitosis.
Did he?
Yeah, but I told him that privately.
The truth is the best defense.
Anyway, the story of your cane.
Okay. I didn't realize how much this cane meant to me until I started actually using it as a cane, and it just made me think of my dad a lot. And sometimes, if I do get emotional on my podcast, I say things that are embarrassing and that I instantly wish I hadn't said. But I admitted on my current episode that dropped yesterday that, and I'm embarrassed to say it now, but I was alone in my house one day.
Go on.
And I kissed the cane and embraced it, and it felt good to do that
Why would you be embarrassed to say that?
because I'm kissing a piece of wood.
It reminds you of your late father, though.
yeah,
Like
for
you
sure.
have very few things that keep him alive. This would be one of them. Very few material things that would keep him alive, certainly. And so that's a beautiful story. You shouldn't be embarrassed by that.
Well, thank you.
That in fact, I would say that after a lifetime of knowing you to be somewhat repressed with your feelings, it's not surprising to me that late in life, as you consider your mortality, you consider your dad's frailty when you didn't know him to be a frail man, but at the end he needed to walk with a cane, and you stubbornly tell your son that you don't want to use this cane, but you come in with it today. So you changed your mind here in the last couple of days. Something happened? Because he said that Erlene was very frustrated with you because you weren't using the cane at home.
Right. Yeah. I think my knee's fine. I don't need anything. But she and I saw the physical therapist yesterday for my first session, and he said I should use the cane a little bit longer as well. So I'm pleased to use the cane.
The Greg Cody Show featuring Greg Cody. Does it have any other things in it that are teasable? Things that would make people go over there to hear about an old man hugging his wooden walking stick?
Kissing the shaft.
I talked a lot about
Your father.
Desecrating again. He's desecrating
No,
again.
I'm
by the way.
giving
Just let-
details to the audio
desecrating
audience.
your
They don't know.
grandfather's
Could have been the tip.
last
Could
will
have been
and
the
testament.
handle.
Penalty, 2 minutes, asshole.
I don't know. If I'm listening, if I'm only listening, I don't know where he kissed it.
There is a funny exchange on the podcast. He says, "Did you kiss the tip?" Come on.
He just did the shaft joke.
Again,
he was thinking
desecrated.
about it all night, and you did.
He said he saved that one for here.
The tip was an exclusive. Thank you, Chris.
Nothing is sacred.
You're doing great work. The tip was an exclusive when you're executive producing the Greg Cody Show featuring Greg Cody.
Nothing is sacred.
You turn it into the shaft when you're in here.
Yes.
I mean, your father's talking about what your grandfather means to him, and you're talking about kissing a shaft.
I need your support.
Thank you, Zaslow, for the support of thank you for
Thank you for that clarification.
Thank you for the support that is needed around here because that's disrespectful. We'll get to the Heat game in a second, and we'll get to Greg Cody being right in a second. But why has Jumping Charlie gotten fat?
Well,
How old's he?
he's three and a half. Still a young dog, fully grown, but somehow growing. No, he's. I think he's pushing 100 pounds now, 90, 95, and he just doesn't get enough exercise. We tried taking him to the dog park. He won't have it. He does run like a maniac in my backyard, but that's only so big, and so he gains a little bit of weight. But there was a funny aside in the podcast when I'm trying to have a serious conversation with my granddaughter about her betrayal on her punishment powers vote, and in the background,
What does that mean?
I mean,
What did you just say?
No,
Word vomit.
What did you just say? My
everybody
granddaughter.
I need your support.
Greg.
I needed her support and she didn't give it.
Greg.
What?
You can't say my granddaughter. You got to give the audience more than that. You can't assume that everyone listening to this listens to every episode of the Greg Cody Show featuring Greg Cody and knows what your granddaughter's betrayal means.
Right.
What was the phrase you used after that?
The punishment powers. We had a PFPI commissioner proposed a punishment power in which repeated offenders on the weekly deadline to submit picks would go through a series of warnings leading up to an eventual one-game
Tony has
penalty.
a question.
Dan, when he talks about the PFPI and talks about the commissioner, isn't he the commissioner of said league?
Yes, I am.
So why didn't you just say I put together a vote instead of the commissioner? It feels like that's more grandiose.
I'm speaking in the third person because I'm honoring the office of the commissioner. Whenever I refer to the league, it's uppercase L.
I always turn in my picks late, so my dad, the commissioner, proposed, hey, if you're late more than a few times, you get punished. And we went around, everyone voted on whether this was fair, and it all came down to my daughter.
Wow.
And we needed a 5-3 majority vote. It ended up being a 4-4 vote. And I was betrayed by my youngest son, Michael, and by my granddaughter. I anticipated both of their support and got neither.
I need your support.
Exactly. Yes, I did. And she didn't give it. And so I was
I need your support.
And
I
so
was asking her on the podcast why she voted like she did. And in the middle of that serious conversation, the dog and the cat are hissing and clawing and just acting like animals in the background. It was ridiculous.
They are. They are.
No, but they don't have to act
They
like it
are
on my air.
Okay, well, they act like animals, at least in part because the cat is untrainable as a cat, and you've poorly trained Jumpin' Charlie. You sent him out for boot camp, and he learned a few things that he does when he's at boot camp, but then he does whatever he wants at your house, and I've seen, this dog is unreasonable, and what's happening here between, I'm surprised that this doesn't escalate. Let's see, does this have sound? Because the video's great, but here is the Greg Cody Show featuring Greg Cody. You will see in the foreground, you will see his beloved cane that he hugs while weeping or sobbing or wailing, and you should, you should not call that the tip or the shaft. It's his beloved uncle,
his father, Dan.
his Wild Bill Cody's cane. That's in the foreground. This is a work of art, what's happening right here in terms of look back into the past, and here's what the 1950s looked like.
Somebody in the league.
Charlie and the cat. Hold on, Dad. We're getting a free show right here for our YouTube channel. Okay. That's 2 hisses from Charlie. From Ollie.
No.
Hey, Charlie, no.
That dog is not trained. That is not a trained animal. What did he tear up there?
He goes, look at this jerk.
What did he tear apart? There was fluff all over the place.
Get some control your
Like
house.
a blanket that stays on that couch.
Yeah, it's a dog blanket. It's fine. It's fine. It's
See,
fine.
he's got fragments of blanket in his mouth.
I know,
How is
he's
that?
a dog.
How?
That dog will kill me one day. I thought about that walking on a cane the other day. If that dog unintentionally runs into me and knocks me off my pins, I'm in trouble.
That has happened to me at the dog park with my dog, where he hits me in the legs and I go straight down face first.
I fear
which
that.
is you don't want to have happen at a dog park because face first is just shit and urine.
You're like, isn't that Dan Le Batard?
Right.
Yes, it was me.
Doesn't he hire a dog walker?
He gets up, he's got shit on his face.
I mean, I could have.
I think that's Dan.
I could. It could have absolutely happened. But for the grace of God, do I not have shit all over my face as my dog has taken out one of my pins, as he called it? So where are you on the cane? So you've come around and now, because I got to tell you, you walked in here today and you looked regal. I don't know. I have very rarely in my life felt softer toward you than watching you walk in here. You don't like to show weakness. You don't. You're a stubborn old man.
Didn't the doctor tell you you're holding the cane with the wrong hand?
Yes, that's the first. No, not the doctor. The physical therapist yesterday. He, in the first 5 seconds of seeing me, he says, "You're holding the cane wrong." We're going to get to that right away.
Well, it is funny. It's your right knee, correct?
Yeah.
You've been holding the cane in your left hand the entire time.
Well, that's the correct time. The correct way.
It is?
Is
Yes.
it?
Yes.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. Look it up. as I like to say.
So you're saying you had it in your right hand when he told you were doing it incorrectly?
I
don't know about that.
I thought
he's wrong.
That you're keeping weight off of the leg.
I thought so too, erroneously. No, all the cane people out there, all my canes stand up, but carefully. They're all
the cane is in
Exactly. Thank you.
It's a golden
kind of
cane.
thing.
No, everybody's nodding like a bobblehead because I'm right.
The cane is in replacement of the leg.
All I can tell you is
I think you've got a quack.
According to Google AI, Greg Cody is right.
Thank
you hold it in the opposite hand of your weak or injured leg.
Hello.
I need your support.
Hello. You don't trust me.
You were
I've been
wrong.
walking this earth for 70 years.
I mean, in our defense, you were wrong yesterday.
Gaining information every step of the way.
I want to get that off the ground as a celebration when you are maximum right about something. You summon some Ethel Merman, some Shirley Temple, and you just say, hello.
Yeah, and if you want to make the E and A, I don't object. Hello.
You know he's going to be done in hour 2, right? He's got nothing left after this.
What a heater. Like, he has given us 25 minutes of flames. He's throwing 107 out of the bullpen. I've missed him so much. He's never been weaker or stronger.
I don't have eyebrows.
I mean, he singed me. He is totally on fire. Can you tell me the hello? That's as victorious as I've ever heard you. It's the world's strangest victory lap. And I can't believe you're right about this. I believe that the audience sides with us in thinking that the cane is something that is put on the side of the body so that you're not making the leg that is surgically repaired weight-bearing.
I thought the exact same thing. For days, I was walking like this. Because it was my right knee.
And that does keep pressure off it. It makes it hurt less to walk that way, right? The other way, you're putting full weight on your right knee.
That's what I would have thought, but that's the first thing the physical therapist said. He identified a man using a cane in his wrong hand and instructed me. And sure enough, it's accurate. It doesn't make any sense to me either.
It makes no sense.
It doesn't make sense to me either. We need to get a physical therapist on the line to explain the who's and what for us. But I know now I'm walking correctly with a cane.
Cleveland Clinic says that if you have an injured or weaker side, you hold your cane on the opposite or stronger side. And presumably that's because if you're going to be exerting force on that cane, you're going to be needing to support yourself. You're using your stronger side to do so, despite the fact that seemingly it doesn't allow you to take the weight off of that leg.
I'm very confused.
As am I, as I imagine the audience is. And when Jeremy mentions Cleveland Clinic, it was Miami's clinic last night. Cleveland had it fall on their head at the end of the game.
What a
Dance
segue.
writer.
What a segue.
What a night.
Wow.
Can you guys tell me, even understanding that Eric Spoelstra had the worst season of his life last year? He's calling a timeout at the end of the game that he doesn't have, just costing his team the game. His percentage point rating with the GMs in the league who vote on such things went down because Eric Spoelstra had a bad year last year. The results were bad, and he had a bad year. Everything that Eric Spoelstra was about sort of got torched from the inside on the last flames of Jimmy Butler. Have fun with that, Golden State. What Miami has done in the interim is what it usually does, which is guy you thought was nothing gets here and is better than that, or guy you may have thought was underrated gets here and becomes a lot better than that. Norman Powell must be frustrated, snubbed for the All-Star game last year, that he had to be in the shadow of three guys with the Clippers who now flail without him. They lost last night to Atlanta at home. They're relying on James Harden to be the center of that team, and Norman Powell has been given the opportunity in Miami that Tyreek Hill was given in Miami. Hey, cared about basketball all your life? Care the way Udonis Haslem cares when he's sobbing in the locker room? Care to be the number one here? And wow, more points through 7 games by a lot than any Heat player. You trust him because he can do all of the things offensively, like all of them. It's not just Jaquez now who's not giving you necessarily threes. Powell can do all of the things offensively. You're playing Cleveland, and you're holding off at the end. A barrage from Sam Merrill and Donovan Mitchell making the most ridiculous of shots.
There was cheating on that last play, though.
I can't take that play away from Donovan Mitchell, even if he had been behind the bench. Like, if so far out of bounds, like, I have to give him that shot because to not give him that shot would be wrong. That's Khalil Ware coming at him. And he's just, that whole sequence at the end was ridiculous. I believe Cleveland's the best team in the East. I'm not saying anything shocking there. For the last couple of years, I felt like they have been, except they can't beat New York. They don't have a chance against New York because every time they play New York matches up well against them. But Donovan Mitchell's a special player. And at the end of what that game was yesterday, he made a special shot that had former Heat member Thomas Bryant on the Cavs bench making the face we were all making, which is like, how the hell did he make that? That's the tallest player on the court, one of the most athletic coming at him, arms outstretched. He's got his back to the basket, and he turns around and just throws up a shot that's a good deal higher than the average shot.
But he was out of bounds.
Like, okay, but the flight, are we in agreement that the flight of the ball was not even a normal jump shot's flight? Like, this is a punt landing in the basket, and you're going to keep doing out of bounds?
Well, yeah, because if you go out of bounds, that's cheating.
Twice it looked like it went out.
Yeah, he was definitely out of bounds. I have no idea if they can or if they did review it, but he was out of bounds. That's it.
The parabola of the shot was like Steph Curry versus Wemby-ish, right? Remember when Steph had to throw it up, basically, because Wemby, who's 19 feet tall, was like standing over him, lording over him? That's kind of the same thing.
And if you don't think that I was going to be pissed off if the Heat lost that game and they didn't call the out of bounds, you don't know me.
You should file a lawsuit.
Well, no, I don't have to. They won. It's okay. But if they lost, could have been a problem for a lot of people.
But the end of that game, when I'm talking about Eric Spoelstra, I really don't know. Like, Kenny Atkinson's a good coach. He has helped the Cavs become a lot better by unlocking the usage rate of Evan Mobley, who's a beast on the offensive boards. It's a really good basketball team. And what happened at the end of that game is just a coaching surgery. And now you need your players to execute, okay? And Sam Merrill blew the assignment. I'm not even sure he should be on the floor in that spot. I don't think he should be on the floor, but okay. Sam Merrill, as a kind of specialist like Duncan Robinson, I actually miss that kind of guy. The Heat don't have one of those. Not that kind of guy that will just spot up and shoot threes and will shoot 12 a game and will get you back into a game quickly. What happened at the end of that game surgically cannot happen to a coach, cannot happen to a team. You cannot allow that shot to be that easy at the basket when there are only 0.4 of a second left in a basketball game.
We all knew that's what they were going to try and do. Like you'd have to figure Kenny Atkinson had a clue that's what they were going to try and do.
It's the only thing you cannot allow. Even if you have to put 5 guys under the basket, the thing that you can't let that happen there is that game to end that way with 0.4 of a second left.
Kenny Atkinson might have had a clue, but he was in the locker room because he was ejected earlier for his second technical. So it was the Cavs' assistant coaches who were trying to defend this play.
And they seemed rattled a few times.
There were multiple moments. Look, unlike baseball, you're not expecting to be without your head coach, particularly in a close game late where there's all these shots being made.
They kept showing the assistants. They were constantly huddled up on the side, like being in game.
Hey, this is good, right?
Yeah, they were constantly like figuring things out while the game was going on.
But a hierarchy the way that the Heat do, and it actually wasn't even Eric Spoelstra who drew up that play. He has had this play on his list for the last several years, he said. For, I believe, 4 years, he's had this play sitting on his list.
Didn't they win a game with Jimmy Butler like that recently?
Yes, against the Rockets a couple of years ago. Labeled CQ for Chris Quinn. And he said rather than articulating the play himself, he just, I was 10 feet away. I watched him hand the clipboard off to Chris Quinn, and he was able to diagram that play himself, articulate it to the players.
You happen to know that's what happened?
I watched it happen.
Look at me, Lou. He was 10 feet away.
He's standing right there.
The 10 feet away was not necessary.
I think it was. It added a lot. It took me there. Thank you, Jeremy.
You're very welcome.
Thank
Everyone's standing. If you really want the picture painted, everybody is standing. I'm standing in the tunnel, right, getting ready. It's me and one of the ushers who I always get to see, and he's always like, I don't know why you're here. You're going to give me a heart attack, because pretty much every single game that I call for whatever reason, it ends up being a really close game late. And so everyone is standing.
Thank
I'm
you.
standing just behind. Standing just behind the front row of folks, where a couple of people have already left after regulation, and I have a nice view of Niko Jovic ahead of me on the opposite sideline, right? And he's standing there, and you could see it. Evan Mobley is defending him as this play is about to start. But then, for whatever reason, those assistant coaches that we said, were really struggling, they take Evan Mobley off of the inbounder. They put him with Jaime Jaquez on the opposite baseline. Donovan Mitchell now defending the inbounder, and he's facing backwards, just looking for that inbound pass, because with 0.4 seconds left, of course, you can get a shot off. Norman Powell's been hot all game, so they've got him running from the baseline up toward the top of the key. When that happens, you see Mitchell sort of shift that way. You see Sam Merrill defending Davion Mitchell.
You had to know that was
Minor
coming.
penalty, 2 minutes.
Inevitable.
Scrambling.
He's breaking down the play, Your Honor. Objection. He's breaking down the play real quick.
Real quick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm painting a picture.
Who were you wearing?
Express.
Thank you.
All right, look, let's just get the video or just the visuals of Jeremy after the game. His enthusiasm.
Journalist.
This is not me. You are right,
Brilliant.
Tony. You are correct. That was the correct ruling to make. As someone who was there in the action, the describing of the play at the end with maximum information is the way to go. But I have to be honest here, okay? I've been hovering over that button for about 2 minutes, as I always am when he starts talking.
I'm glad you found it.
And Roy was smiling the entire time, and he was the only show Roy was doing was watching me hover over this button. And as I do this, Lewis puts in cue journalist Jeremy. And what I get to see on the screen is the same giddy guy who walked in today with the strut, and he was waving a parasol around. Heat are good again. And so look at him here in the middle of the action. That's closer than 10 feet away. Look at Jeremy's face. I want you to close up on the side of his face. That is not a journalist.
Eric Reed called him the team's good luck charm when he threw
Look
it
at
in
him.
there.
Look what's happening right here.
Wow.
And so that
Happiness. Who would want that?
he's been eating it for about a year because of how bad the Heat were last year and what a messy conundrum they were last year. But this Heat team scores, and I will tell you that while this is very exciting, and I do get excited about Norman Powell as a number one in a weak East, it's still Norman Powell as your number one, and I'm like, this season is going to be, the Miami Heat are going to be better than we thought they were going to be. Norman Powell's going to be a good number one if he is healthy. But it's not where Heat expectations are, the franchises. Like, I understand that it's small-minded and, man, oh, man, like it's almost cruel, the standard that they've set, but number one is the standard. Not 8 seed, not 6 seed, but this team is good enough to be a 4 seed in the East.
Baby steps, man. Like, why can't this year be similar to what 2004 was, where it was this unexpected team, this unexpected season with a lot of really good young players, and guess what? Now we're going to pool these really good young players, and we're going to get a super-duper star.
Jeremy's calling them the Pacers from last year, so that's where he's going.
Well, I
with
am
it.
just wondering, like, why we can look at this team. Like, you say Norman Powell is the number one. Norman Powell was brought here to be their number 3 option offensively, because the offense often runs through Bam Adebayo, and then Tyler Hero has been their lead scorer. Either way, even if you want to make them 1A, 1B, 1C in what they're doing
He's
offensively,
their best offensive player.
their pace and the way that they're playing offense, they only set 9 picks yesterday. 9 picks in an overtime game where they had a 123 offensive rating. That is insane. That is not something that happens in basketball. And with this free-flowing offense, it doesn't really matter who your number one per se is. What matters is that you have several different options and several different playmakers, which they have, whether it's Jaime Jaquez, Niko Jovic, these guys coming off the bench, they have mismatches, and they're going to continue as they get healthy.
That's great, but when the playoffs come and it's a half-court game and you're not running in pace and you're not scoring 140 points a game, who's your dog? Who's your alpha guy who's going to go get you a bucket in crunch time? The Heat have Tyler Hero, Jaime, like
okay, but
and Norman Powell,
like
Bam Adebayo.
This is the place that I would just stop you. This is the place, and this is the cutting edge that I would say it's fair to say the Heat have been pioneering on the revolution of basketball over the last 15 years of positionless basketball. The reason to be excited about this Heat team, you can use all of those old metrics, and they're fair because they've always been fair throughout basketball. Who's your end-of-the-game guy in the playoffs has been a true thing throughout the playoffs since we've been watching basketball. However, with the pieces they have that they were unwilling to trade for yesterday's star in Kevin Durant, a basketball culture franchise, and I'm not going to, let me take back culture because it annoys people, just what these people do in revolutionizing whatever the future looks like. To take the offense and be like, no picks, we're just going to go after Jimmy Butler ball, bounce, 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 bounce. Jimmy Butler, bounce, 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 bounce. Like, to go from that to we don't care who the star is, I would love to believe in that. It's just at no time in history except when the Pistons beat the Lakers because Kobe and Shaq hated each other has that ever won. And what you'd be trusting here is that the Heat know more about how to evolve their maximum pieces than other teams do. But the reason they didn't trade these guys is because they knew it looked like this. Like, we didn't know, but they absolutely knew that this is what it would look like. Like, they had no... Like,
also, Jeremy knew. That's right.
That's an interesting thing, though. When you think of the architects of, like, okay, now we got Jimmy out of here, and, man, that year hurt. Like, everything about what that did to us hurt. Anybody want to play here where we don't care who the number one is? Anybody want to play here where we do not care because Norman Powell is coming from the perfect situation? Are you kidding me? The shadow of Harden and Kawhi, and nobody knows how good that guy was last year. Nobody knows. Like, how do you get that for Kevin Love and Kyle Anderson? And then, of course, you put him in this. You put him in this cauldron, and it gets better.
Greg, you like that trade right away.
I did. I was all over it. Thank you. Really appreciated that trade.
Biggest reason for Clippers fall off, losing Norman Powell or Pablo Torre?
Oh, Pablo, no doubt.
I need your support.
When you guys make big announcements, are you one that just likes to rip the Band-Aid off or really just drag this out? Like, if you had something really important to say in this segment, would you just say it right now? Or would you, like, let's have a segment, have a little conversation, and then
what do you
build
mean
up
big
to it?
announcements? Like, what kind of big announcements?
I don't know. I'm just saying if hypothetically someone wanted to announce something in here.
Announce like
Witty,
what,
if you
though?
wanted to announce something, would you just, like, are you rip the Band-Aid off kind of guy?
I think I am. I don't like to drag things out.
Get right to the point.
Get right to the point,
But
yeah.
why are you guys talking about big announcements?
Because I just
what
like
is-
to talk about life sometimes, and we all have big announcements to make sometimes.
Right. You never
and I
know.
just like to see, I like to go around the room, get a feel for how people, like audience. How do you, like, we're going to give a little 10 seconds of silence here so everyone in the audience can say how they handle big announcements. All right, so audience, when you have a big announcement, are you a rip the Band-Aid type, or do you, slow burn? Shh.
Wow.
This is a callback to Naked Chris, by the way. I used to do this with Naked Chris.
You guys are so uncomfortable with silence, you couldn't get through 4
Seriously,
seconds.
seriously.
without,
Chris is
working in
world
radio
class.
for a long time, Dan.
We're ready to go. Dan and I were ready
but
for
you're
10
ju-
seconds.
So I still don't understand what you're doing, though. What are we making a big announcement here? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, we are.
But
We
who's
are.
making it? Is
Whoa.
Chris Cody making it? I mean,
I am making a big announcement. Well,
okay, yeah.
I don't like to classify my own announcements as big or not big.
Wait a minit.
I'll leave that to you guys.
I started this segment, and there's actually an announcement that needs to be made.
What are the chances?
Wow.
Good at this. All right, so
Woody's leaving.
It was really poor acting.
Spoiler alert.
What the hell are you doing?
yeah, Chris Cody is correct. He has indeed broken my news. I will no longer be the executive producer of this program. I took over that job like a year and a half ago, but yeah, I will indeed be leaving that. And I have decided to commit fully to my play-by-play role, which I've recently begun with Apple. And yeah, I will no longer, well, I don't want to say no longer because I'll still be around here at Meadowlark. We're working on a project that I will be a part of. But yeah, in terms of regular daily involvement on this show, that comes to a conclusion today. I'll still be around. Like I think every once in a while, I'll still kind of.
They're hugging you. Did you have a different way of doing this before Chris Cody got involved?
No, I didn't write anything. I was going to say it just as awkwardly.
Some people would argue that you presided over the single worst era of the Le Batard Show with Stugotz.
And if that is...
That was Andy King, year one.
Oh, no.
Not Andy's fault. Not Andy's fault.
That's a stray.
No. My fault and Dan's fault, not Andy's fault. Okay?
Poor Andy King. All right. So I come in
It's
our
our fault, not Andy King's. I said it.
I come in third then. That's fine. But if that's on my tombstone, at the very least, I got to say, I work with you, tremendous group of people. I love you all. I will miss you all.
Rank us.
Hold on. Before we get to making this awkward and syrupy, we are very happy for you because when you started over here, you are now embarking on what is your dream job, correct? This is, and for those who do not know, we have known Whittingham since he was a young broadcaster in college, heard him on a WVUM game, and he was exceptional, noticed him that he was good at the art of play-by-play, and so you bailed us out during a really turbulent, difficult time by coming over here and simply being helpful at a time, and we still need the help because we're going to miss you, but you're getting your dream job. This is, and you want to devote yourself to it because you can't. People don't understand how consuming these jobs are. They think Joe Buck shows up and can just fart out 4 hours, and that's not how it works.
Yeah, I didn't honestly because. This episode of the Dan Le Batard Show is presented by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Zaz, I just saw this Get Up headline.
What do I say?
Is the Bills Super Bowl window closed?
Oh, that's my gimmick.
What? They're doing that?
They just did it.
18 hours after Zaz. That was super disrespectful yesterday. And now ESPN is stealing that?
Whoa, who's disrespectful?
Has the Bills window closed because Ed Oliver's out and they can't stop the run?
Dan, do you think the Bills are going to the Super Bowl this year?
They could. They're one of the best
Of course
teams.
they could. The Dolphins can too. Great answer.
No, the Dolphins can't. No, the Dolphins can't.
No, they can.
No, they can't.
They can.
No, they can't.
They can.
They can
Buy
win.
a ticket?
They can
Medically possible.
They can win the rest of their games.
They can.
And they can't.
They can.
Zaz is right.
They can't.
They can.
Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. Bills can't. Dolphins can. Like, that's ridiculous what you're saying. Diana Rossini's on with us, senior NFL insider for The Athletic and host of the Scoop City podcast. Diana, is the Bills window closed?
It is not closed, but I'm now very curious about the Dolphins schedule because I'm in Greg's camp here. I think the Dolphins can win the Super Bowl.
Oh, come on. You're trolling us.
Well, look, right? They've got the Commanders.
It's an easy schedule. It's the Saints. It's
got
the Jets.
The Saints.
But
they've got the Jets.
They're all looking at the Dolphins and saying, we've got the Dolphins.
Steelers. They've got the Bengals, the Bucks. All right, the Patriots. Okay. It's easy, then it gets a little harder. Look, anything could happen. The Dolphins' defense looked fantastic. Where was that all year last game? As for the Bills, look, I think what Zaz's point is, forget the defense that you mentioned. It's the fact that their offense, when they cannot run the ball, nothing good is happening. And teams know this. Teams run the same play, and they have the blueprint to beat the Buffalo Bills, which is stop the run and run the ball on them. right? And they are unable to do either of those right now. And so that's my concern. And with the trade deadline now passed and then not getting another receiver, even though they tried, they called around, they were in on almost all the ones that were traded. We are now left with Josh Allen trying to make magic, which is what we saw him trying to do, and it's just not enough.
How did they get left out at the trade deadline? And is it true, as has been reported, that the Bills made the best of all the offers for Waddle, a 1 and a 3, a 1 this year and a 3 next year?
Yeah, there was some stuff going on with different teams with Buffalo in terms of the negotiation for how the trades would go. I don't know for a fact that the Buffalo Bills gave the Miami Dolphins the best offer. I just know the Miami Dolphins were listening, but they really did not want to move him. They were not trying to move on from Jalen Waddle. So I'm not sure what Brandon Beane would have had to offer for Miami to go, okay, we're in on this. I just know that they had a couple lines in the waters with different teams, with New Orleans, with the Vegas Raiders, with the Jacksonville Jags even. But in the end, though, they lost out because either the team that they were talking to really didn't want to move the player, or they got beat out by another team, or in some cases, this happens a lot, you get used as a team because one team really doesn't want to trade with you. So they use that as a way to get another team to, as leverage for another team to pay more. So I think all of that happened, which is why you saw Brandon Beane so exhausted. Did you see his press conference? I haven't seen a general manager talk about that.
Diana, I'm legitimately baffled when I'm not someone who does a lot of this. I assume that people who are invested in their building, the way the Bills are, that they're good at their jobs. You can't fail to get a wide receiver for Josh Allen at the trade deadline. You're playing for right now. You're not playing for next year or the year after that. This team is viewed as a failure, not unlike the best previous incarnation of the Bills that always collapsed at the end. You have to get Josh Allen a receiver. It can't be that obvious, that you can't stop the run. You can't run the ball if James Cook is hurt. And then all of a sudden it's just Dalton Kincaid is all that they can beat you with.
It's literally the state of the Bills right now, right? Of what you just defined or how you just laid that out. And you're right, but what are you going to do if you can't get the deal done? Like, the Buffalo Bills weren't the only team that were after players that couldn't get a guy. It just, I hear you. What are you willing to give up? How far are you willing to go? And I think there's consequences if you go too far. He was aggressive. The general manager was very aggressive in this. Just he wasn't able to come up with what he wanted, which is why you heard in the press conference him being like, he looked partially tired because it was an exhausting process because he was having so many different conversations, but obviously annoyed, right? So that tells me he was close on a lot of these things and lost out.
I want to ask you guys before I throw this to Diana, because it was something that baffled me yesterday. So Brian Daboll gets fired, and my reaction was just fairly immediately, why does everyone care about this so much? Like, he started 7-2, had Daniel Jones, and when they were healthy, they looked like maybe it would be something, and then they've done nothing but fail since. And then I see a lot of people reacting angrily to you don't do this to Brian Daboll. And I'm just curious, before I throw it to Diana, why do you think people care about that so much when Brian Daboll's just a guy?
Yes, I agree. It's because it's the New York market. If Brian Daboll was just fired from the New Orleans Saints, nobody cares, and we're not talking about it. It's New York. It's why whoever the Jets coach is or the next Jets coach is going to be disproportionately discussed. I really think I agree with you. Daboll is an unremarkable NFL coach looking for work.
I don't even necessarily agree with the unremarkable part. Like okay, fine, like he is just a guy, but he was doing like Jackson Dart's having a good season. I understand they're 2-8. I wouldn't want to change, potentially the offense that he runs next year because they have a new coach, Diana.
Yeah, the New York market thing, I'm with you, Greg, on it, and sometimes I still think that gets blown out of proportion, yet look how many people we've seen leave New York and have success just from the players, right? Like Daniel Jones, Leonard Williams. Maybe this will be Brian Daboll's future where he has success outside the Giants. Saquon Barkley, right? But Dan, I was with you a little bit from a. No one was surprised that Brian Dable got fired, right? We've been talking about it every single week. I think what happened here was because the quarterback has shown that he is talented and could be the guy here, and the relationship between him and Brian Dable seemed to be the best part of watching this New York Giants team before they collapsed against Denver and lost to Philly. And just really started losing against the Niners. I think there was a moment here where you went, okay, if you're the New York Giants and you have the quarterback, what do you want? Well, you want a really good offensive play caller because this kid has potential. Who's a good offensive play caller? Oh, Brian Dable. Remember what he did with Josh Allen? Oh my gosh. Oh wait, he's our head coach. So I think there was belief that now is the time, the best version of Brian Dable is here. Unfortunately, the reality is Brian is a good offensive coordinator. He is not a great head coach because so much comes with it. And I think that's why in this next chapter of the New York Giants, in terms of what they're going to be looking for, I would lean more towards them searching for we talk about this kind of in a funny tone, but leader of men, right? Someone that is going to hold the best players accountable.
Who's that?
On both sides of the ball.
Who's
right?
that?
Well, who's out there, right? So you've got an Anthony Weaver in Miami who has a really great reputation with his players for being a disciplinarian yet understanding. You've got a Lou Anarumo who interviewed once before. He's the Colts defensive coordinator. He interviewed for the Giants job, and from what I recall, he interviewed very well, and it was close. Brian Dable got the job in the end. Look, Mike Tomlin's name is floating around there right now because we don't know what the future in Pittsburgh will be. I think we have this conversation every year. What happens? He stays in Pittsburgh because that's how they do it. I just think the model for John Mara, like what he should be looking at in terms of what do I want this to be and look like? I think they need to look in New England. You get the leader of men and you get the really good offensive coordinator. The answer of just getting the OC as the head coach, from history, doesn't really work out as well. And I think this Giants team needs that. I think they've tried all the other ways. I think this is a time where they need to find the guy that's going to be the disciplinarian again, because that's when they've had success.
Can I get a ruling from the group here who have raised children? I think, I don't have children, so I'm not going to judge Diana's parenting skills, but I think she's doing something with her kids that some parents might say is not something that you should do. Now, how old are your kids, Diana?
4 and 3.
Okay, so she has been picking up the phone when they're misbehaving, and this works, undoubtedly. And she has been threatening that she's about to call Santa Claus.
Yeah, that's a good move.
That is a good move.
That's a good move.
Yeah.
Good for you, Diana.
Yep.
Okay.
Is it too early?
No.
Never.
No, I mean, is it working?
It is, but with my children, I have learned it runs out. Like, it only works for a week or two, and then they're like, that's not Santa, that's Grandpa.
Okay, so then you move on. Like, maybe next time you say, I'm calling the police.
Oh, wait a minute.
I just said back here, one of my friends, to their kid, they always are threatening to call the cops.
Okay, but wait, you guys.
No, we do that too. We threaten jail
Good.
a lot.
What? Good.
What?
Yeah.
Diana.
But here's what's starting to happen. When they see the policemen, they get frightened, and you don't want them to be scared of police because if you think of any scenario of an emergency, they're going to probably be helping our children, right? So I don't want them to be frightened. Kevin came up with this idea last week, which was putting the children outside. And that's been working. So
to live?
Like animals? It's 20 degrees.
It's really cold in New Jersey, and we have a lot of deer in our backyard, and we threaten that will be their family. If you don't put the trains away, you're going to live with the deer.
Oh, my God. This is horrifying.
Oh,
okay, this is escalated. Oh, dear.
I mean, she had to live with the deer. That's frightening.
This is escalated. This is far worse than what I thought we were doing, but I think we skipped over a part. Did you say that there is someone on the line and the kids are yelling, that's not Santa Claus, that's Grandpa?
Yeah, so I always think I want to really be in character. So I will call my brother, I will call my dad, I'll call a man that is available to just be, and I'll be like, hey, just be Santa.
I could be Santa.
I would, in fact, I feel like that would be a great
this is
a
better.
great way
Somebody
to help.
will end up on the naughty list if you don't behave.
Diana, this is so good. You should absolutely be calling Chris. He will scare the shit out of your kids.
This is better than the deer.
Diane, I think you should go a step further. You create a contact in your phone that is Santa's picture. So the kids see it. You flip the phone and say, look who it is. And they're like, oh my God,
is so
that's
good.
Santa.
Santa's calling.
This is Jeremy.
Another level. What if I just called someone in the NFL and was just like, hey, coach, can you just be Santa for me right now while you're in between meetings? Like, could you imagine what the response would be like? What?
Who would you pick?
Who'd be a good NFL Santa?
Obviously, Mike McCarthy.
No, it's got to be Andy Reid, no?
Andy Reid would do it because he's nice like that.
He's
and he loves
busy. I was
kids.
thinking of somebody who's not busy.
Yeah, call the Titans.
Yes, obviously Andy Reid. I'm sorry. I take it back.
Come on,
Mike McCarthy is more of an old Elvis. If you have a need to have old Elvis threaten one of your kids. I can't believe the escalation, though, of you're not threatening to throw the kids outside with the deer. You have put them outside and said their deer is going to be their family.
They lose their minds through the glass window because they think they're really going to have to stay out there.
It's good parenting.
Good.
That's excellent.
Dan,
It's
you
freezing.
Dan,
Somebody should be calling
no,
child
no.
services on you.
Dan, you don't
Give her
get
a
it. For
reward.
every parent watching and
Yeah,
listening
Dan
right
doesn't
now,
get it.
you know what I'm talking about. It's between the hours of 4 and probably 7 o'clock, and you're trying to get them fed, and
Hell
there's a
time.
million
That's
things
the real
going on, and
witching hour.
everyone is losing their minds. So there's only one. No, you can't be reasonable with them, right?
Thank you, Diana.
I can't get down and look at Mikey in the eye and be like, you need to eat your vegetables and sit. He's like, I want to play trains. I'm a dinosaur. Like, Joey's in the corner.
All right,
for
calling
the
Santa.
eggs.
How cold is it outside? 26 degrees? See ya.
That is such a great description for boy childhood. I want to play with trains. I'm a dinosaur.
No, they do it all the time. They're constant. Then they ask me to put a spell on them, so they turn into a monster because they want to be monsters all the time. So the only way to get a little bit of order.
Yeah, you're living
my
with
husband and I
hyena.
like-
You're living with hyena.
I'm living with crazy deer now. And the thing is that the 3-year-old just he encourages it. Like he's like, I dare you to put me outside, and I put him out there, and he looks through the window, and I take the eggs. And I'm like, I got your eggs.
Oh my
got you. And
God.
you lose. That's usually how I get them.
Wait. So is the 3-year-old the smartass with that's not Santa, that's Grandpa? Like who's hitting you with that?
The 4-year-old's an angel. He's like, oh, yay, Santa. The 3-year-old, the egg one, he is smart. He knows. He knows what we're doing. So yeah, he's gonna be my
Diana, would you do me the favor of please calling Chris? I want to video this. I think that Chris can sell your kids on. You put the kid on the phone. I think that Chris,
Are they misbehaving again?
But I want more out of you, Chris. Like I want more direction so we can get some order here.
We got to talk on the front end. You tell me what they're doing. I need more info.
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
All right, please coordinate. I want to scare the kids, and I want Chris to be this Santa who disciplines your kids so we don't have to call child services on you because you're threatening that they're going to live with deer in the frigid Northeast.
Deer aren't even scary. They just like.
You're saying to your kids you're going to live in the woods? You're going to be raised by a deer?
Deer are scary. Big
You're
antlers.
3 years
Deer,
old.
not
What,
scary.
what sort of processing do you think is happening there? Wait a minute. I have to live out there that's not warm.
What the hell is that thing?
And
Those
why you say that deer is not dangerous? What do you mean that's going to raise me? How am I going to get to practice?
They go to school with Jets and Giants fans. It can't be much worse.
Getting back to the things in football, the Patriots, how real is that?
Very real. I think they're ahead of schedule. This is a team that I think they were just trying to straighten up, get organized, figure out what they want to be. And I think they're already on this journey to being what they are, what they envision this. I can tell you it's electric up there. They're energized, and that is a hard place to be energetic about, especially this time of year in New England. I remember when I was at ESPN and I would cover the Patriots. It was the worst assignment. And not because of Bill and Brady and all that. Like, it was just like, it's so just.
Oh, it's gray and far away and cold.
dark.
No, it's awful. They live on the outskirts of civilization. They might as well be raised by deer. No, seriously. People don't know how. Do people know how hard it is to get to that place, Diana?
It's far from
No,
Boston.
it is the wilderness.
Yeah, they're closer to Walpole, soul prison than they are to a city.
I agree. And so just the fact that they're out there and they're dancing, they're doing all these things. I love what they're about. And look, I still don't think this roster's like phenomenal. I still think they're kind of a middle of the road type of team that just has a really good quarterback, a great offensive coordinator, and a potential coach of the year leading the way.
Diana, what the hell did we watch last night?
Just cold? Like, I don't understand. Okay. I'm frustrated at times with this Eagles offense. They had a bye week to get this together. And I was just expecting it to look more like it did either at the height of last year or even snippets of what we saw before the bye, right? Where the run game was on, the offensive line did a good job of protecting. They used the receivers really well. And then it just looks disjointed. It doesn't look as good as the Eagles can. And I know they're winning, right? They're still good. They're going to make a deep playoff run. I think when you have a team like this, where at times the offense looks like they're in a bit of a rut, they're lucky that they've got such talent because it gets them out.
That's a tough assignment on the road in the cold in Green Bay. Give me a stat of the day here so people understand what they're seeing from Green Bay.
Start of the day, start of the day. This is start of the day. Start of the day, start of the day. This is start of the day. Start of the day, start of the day. This is start of the day. Start of the day, start of the day. This is start of the day.
The Packers have allowed, this is from OptaStats, the Packers have allowed just 39 total points and 780 total yards in their 3 losses this season. That's the first NFL team to allow fewer than 40 points and fewer than 800 yards over their first 3 losses of a season since 1940, since the Lions. Now, 2 inexplicable losses, Carolina and Cleveland. But that one last night is not inexplicable. Like, that's a good defense they're playing, and Philadelphia... Look, I know they won 20 of 21 or 21 of 22. Winning on the road at Green Bay, if you're Philadelphia, no matter how you do it, is a victory. Like, that's something that no one's so spoiled that they can't appreciate, that they're going to complain after that.
Yeah, no, sure. And you look at the teams that they've beaten this year, this is not like they have some cupcake schedule. They've played really good teams. So, look, Philly is really hard to dissect because we know what the roster looks like. Even look at Jalen Phillips. They just trade for him, and he immediately makes an impact. Like, they do a really good job on both sides of the ball. But I think it's understanding what they could be is the frustration, right? A.J. Brown, 3 targets again. What is this going to turn into by the end of the season, and how are they going to get him more involved? Because I think that's what he wants, and I think that's what they want to do because he's that good. So, look, they're at the top of the NFC. They've got Seattle and the Rams, who to me are the best teams playing right now in football.
Let's get the tiers of tears for for Diana. Let's get these ready so that she can make a ruling for us before we let her go. And can you guys get for me the Jalen Phillips tweet, please? Because he had a forced fumble last night. He had a recovered fumble last night. He had 4 pressures, no sacks. He's going to be helped by that defensive line, which doesn't particularly need his help. But Howie Roseman does what the Bills did not, because they got another pass rusher in Philadelphia in Jalen Phillips. When you look at everything, the totality of people complaining in Philadelphia that the offense is not doing enough, I want to ask you a question about Lane Johnson, their right tackle. Is there a better right tackle in football?
No.
Where do you put him on most important players the Eagles have? Like, if I said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
He is the best player on offense for the Philadelphia Eagles. Lane Johnson is the best player on the Philadelphia Eagles.
I don't think people know this. Like, I think people like you know this. I don't think the people listening to this, they talk about A.J. Brown and they're talking about all the other players that play offense for the Eagles. But that guy gets hurt last night. All of a sudden, they're going to have problems.
Let me be even clearer. It is my opinion, but it's also from me asking the people on the Philadelphia Eagles team recently about this. I've had conversations with guys. Who is the best player on the team? And it is not even questioned. It's always Lane Johnson. Always.
He's the best right tackle ever. And do you dispute this?
I don't dispute this. I'm saying yes. The next player is where I step into some spicy stuff, because I have said that I thought A.J. Brown was the second best offensive player on the Philadelphia Eagles, and I think a lot of the world believes it's Saquon Barkley. So that's another.
Well, A.J. Brown believes that it's A.J. Brown. Correct? Like that. He believes he's being held back by everything they're doing in Philadelphia as champions, correct?
He does. I think he just wants to be part of this game plan consistently throughout the game, not just in moments when they need him, like trying to go for it on fourth down, right? I mean, I'm not sure what happened there in terms of him going up for the ball, but to me, this is like, it's the same thing week in and week out. And look, Howie Roseman got calls. People poked around a little bit. There was some chatter. Would they move A.J. Brown? And Philly they were not doing it. They were like, unless it's a blow you away deal, we are not moving him, despite the fact that we know it's not the perfect scenario.
Diana, were the Patriots one of those teams that called about the Eagles, A.J. Brown's availability?
In the offseason, I know they had some conversations. I don't know how aggressive they were this time around. I know that they were looking more on defense during the trade deadline than they were on offense. So, look, it makes all the sense in the world in this upcoming offseason. If they were to move A.J. Brown, New England being a place where he lands because of his relationship with the head coach, but also he could definitely be used in New England at this point, right, as they're trying to build this thing.
Let's speed her up, Roy. Let's speed her up. Let's get out of here. She's the host of Scoop City with The Athletic. She's the senior NFL insider for The Athletic.
Diana, is Joe Burrow returning this month?
No, he is not. I think the hope has been December this whole time. I still want to see it, though. I think injuries are hard to determine.
Is the writing on the wall for Kyler Murray in Arizona?
I do believe so. I think this is going to be a really hard decision for this team to make, but I think we're seeing it, right? They're showing us and telling us what direction they're going in here at quarterback. And look, there was a time where I think all of us would be surprised that Kyler Murray wasn't going to be the starting quarterback for Arizona with how he was playing and some of the runs he was making and really some of the athleticism. But I just don't think what he's doing there is good enough for this regime.
Is there a market for Kyler Murray? Where does it start?
Yeah, I definitely think there's a market. Look, there's going to be plenty of teams that are going to be looking for quarterback next year, right? You look at the New York Jets right now. They would give anything to have somebody. I keep joking that if Joe Burrow comes back, Joe Flacco should go to the Jets. There will be plenty of teams, I think, interested in knowing that he can play. Maybe he just needs a better situation.
Diana, last year's draft class, Caleb Williams, Drake May, Jaden Daniels, rank them who you want.
Drake May, Caleb Williams, and Jaden. And look, I'm taking this away from Jaden only because he's been hurt, right? Like, I don't know what he would be if he was able to be out there, but I love what Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams are doing, and he's doing a better job in the pocket. But he was drafted because of his off-script play, and it's been remarkable the last few weeks. That is where he has shined, and he's got the clutch gene. I love this about this kid. He wants to win games, and he knows how to do it when the pressure's hot.
The clutch gene.
Hot or high?
No, she's right. She's right.
High or hot?
She's 100% right.
I mean, you just dismounted with a diarrhea of cliches. Clutch gene.
He does.
The pressure.
How
the
else
pressure
would you like
when
me
it's
to
hot.
say?
When the pressure
He can
is
finish.
high.
What do you want me to say?
It's just diarrhea.
I'll tell you who's clutch. See that Jaime Jaquez Jr. last night?
Diana does not think about Jaime Jaquez Jr. as.
She better start thinking about Jaime Jaquez Jr.
Norman Powell.
Do you remember when the Rams were going to trade or let Stafford go to the Giants?
Oh, I do. I remember it well. We were in Indy at the NFL Combine, and if you recall, the Rams were being a little wishy-washy on what they wanted to do because they didn't want to pay him more money, and the New York Giants were sitting there waiting, kind of begging, please come play for the New York Giants. The Las Vegas Raiders were willing to pay him tons of money for him to be the Raiders' starting quarterback. But in the end, he never even wanted to leave California, and they were able to get that deal done. But what it could have been, right? If Matthew Stafford, this is a team that looks primed, ready to go for the Super Bowl with Sean McVay. If he was in New York, would Brian Dable still have his job?
Talk about clutch genes. Matthew Stafford, Dan. That guy's got a clutch gene like no other.
I just want to know what's another way of saying somebody comes through in the fourth quarter.
Exactly right.
Like,
Perfect way of saying it.
Okay.
Clutch gene, Dan. Say it.
I'm wrong. A clutch gene.
Thank you.
Wearing a pair of clutch jeans.
He wears clutch jeans.
Thank
yes,
you.
that's right.
Nice.
We should start making those clutch jeans. We should start making
They
those.
sound tight in all the wrong
LeBatardAF.com.
They do sound very tight, Greg.
Jeremy has one question to close it out.
all right.
Which is worse, Diana? Weeping or sobbing?
Sobbing.
Keep going,
Thank
though,
you.
Jeremy. Keep going.
Well,
though.
we have a full list here. Where would you put wailing in that mix with those two?
The wailings to
All right,
me.
so here's our full tiers of tears. So it starts with a frog in the throat, then
That's good.
sniffling, then sniveling, lamenting, choking back tears. Is it dusty in here? Cutting onions, allergies, shedding a tear, boo-hooing, whimpering, then standard crying, then the mourning cry, and then the mourning as if you're mourning cry.
That's got to be a big one. No?
Where's
bursting
the
in-
shower cry?
See, I figured morning cry, shower cry, pretty similar, right? But are you
Which
considering
morning,
the shower
though? Are you
at
talking
night?
about in the morning or when I'm sad because someone passed?
We could add the shower cry. Let's get through the list and then we can figure out where that shower cry goes. So after the second morning cry, we have bursting into tears, then waterworks, crying a river, bawling, wailing, crying your eyes out, hysterical crying, crocodile tears, blubbering, weeping, sobbing, and the no Sean Moreno tear.
Yeah, thank you. I was waiting for that one.
There were a couple in there that I thought you ranked in the wrong order. Like
A little too high?
Yeah, a little too high. Like sobbing was too low.
What is the highest form? Is it wailing? What is the highest form of sobbing?
No Sean Moreno
Wailing.
tears right now.
Yeah,
Right?
that's the highest form.
Wailing,
the palace.
more than blubbering. All right,
Weeping.
Diana.
I just think anytime you cry in like whatever the private version of it is always going to be the worst, right? Because that's when you can truly let go. Very few people will do that in public.
Where's
So,
the shower cry going though?
I mean, in my life, it's probably the top one. It's the worst version.
So I'll put it just beneath the
It's
no
the
Sean Moreno
word.
tear.
The shower cry is the
Shower
word
cry.
because you're
Happens a
you're
lot.
by yourself. You can get away from everyone. You're alone, and you're alone with your alone and your pain, and it's just a private cry. It's
Car
just
cry. The car cry is good too.
Really?
Car cry's
You
a
don't cry in
strong
the car?
cry.
Wow. When you stop at a red light, somebody's looking at you crying.
No,
there's
it's in your. It's
privacy
always in
there.
your driveway.
No, see that
It's
one.
in your
That
driveway.
one feels even stronger to me than the shower cry because the shower cry can feel almost cathartic, right? There's like an emphasis of release. You're alone, but the car cry, it's like you can't even wait until you get home and hop into that
car
shower
cry
to be
is
able
dark.
to cry.
It's a dark
It's a
cry.
dark
I
cry.
like the shower cry to release the most because the water is kind of camouflaging all my tears. You know what I mean? It's like all mixed in as one
Yes.
that I can't even decipher what's my tears and what's just the water, and
Yep.
I then don't feel so horrible about myself.
Put it on the poll, please, Juju. What's the worst of the cries, the shower cry or the car cry? Diana, thank you. We've kept you too long because Jeremy is using
Really
too
quick,
many
though, Dan.
words
Does
again.
Bo Nix stink now, Diana? I don't know. You tell me.
Oh, a stray football question after the music has died.
That was efficient.
It's a good question.
Look, do you
They're
realize
8-2. Does Bo
that-
Nix
do you-
stink?
do you realize that this is Diana's life as she walks through life? Some guy shouting
Bo Nix
behind her.
stink?
Does Bo yes.
They're 8-2. Does he
Her-
stink?
This is her life. Look, in the Northeast especially, guys like you on a street corner.
Me?
Yeah, guys like you.
Clutch gene.
Asking for the opinion of does Bo Nix stink?
I think he does.
As she's trying to leave. She's got to leave. Thank you, Diana.
He does.
Wow.
He doesn't. He doesn't. He doesn't. He doesn't. Goodbye.
That's my girl.
I'm gonna go
Flip
cry.
Ho ho ho! Goodbye, Diana.
You gotta do this, okay? Listen to me. I want it to escalate. Look, if she's willing to put her
You're
kids
on the naughty list.
listen, if she's willing, okay,
For me to scare her children.
to tell the American people, okay, that she puts her children in freezing cold to be raised by deer as a threat, I need this to escalate into you become a really threatening Santa. Like you need to be, you need to start out really kind, but it needs to escalate. Like we've got 6 weeks to perfect this. And I want those kids scared for Christmas that what's coming down their chimney is doing so with a machete.
You go outside right now.
Can you get me the sound of Mad Dog, please, complaining about the government shutdown?
Only you should be ashamed. Every single elected official on both sides of the aisle should look themselves in the mirror how they let down the American public and made us a laughingstock around the world. This is not about winners and losers, who is right and who is wrong. This is about doing something good for the American people and say, you know what? All right. They're wrong, but I got to step up here and make sure that the air traffic controllers are there with aircraft and in towers. Not saying, well, your turn, LaGuardia, your turn, Kennedy. Newark, it's been 40 minutes. Send a plane out that's been sitting there for 15 hours. That's not the way this works. If you're the President of the United States or you're a Republican who controls everything, you do what's right for the American person, and they didn't do that. And the Democrats, you're dead wrong, too. The both of you. You all go to hell. Every single one of you.
Oh, he keeps going.
That's part one.
Hit it, Roy.
I mean, it's ridiculous what they put us through. I mean, who knows how dangerous it was to fly with nobody in the freaking towers. I mean, my God almighty. And I got the president sitting there with freaking Vilma breaking down the 2003 Saints. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. And chest bumping Vilma. When they got a 75-year-old who's been sitting in Miami International for 3 days. He got hearing aids. He can't hear the announcements of when its JetBlue flight takes off for Bozeman. Oh, my God, it's sickening. I can't stand it. I should move the hell. I should be, Susan Lucci, who moved? No, Longoria moved. I should do the same thing. I'll do the show from Madrid. I'll do it live at 9 o'clock at night. Jesus, oh my God, 11 in front of the hour, returning on Mad Dog.
The GOAT.
Holy shit. Just a
man.
fireball.
I listened to that in the shower this morning.
Did you cry?
Can you get me the sound, Roy, of him just tripping on himself on the way to Susan Lucci? And get me the sentence, because it's a musical sentence, of where he's so mad and the spit is gathered in his mouth that all of a sudden we're not flying, we're frying. Where he can't even get the L because it's an R instead, because he is just frothing at the mouth.
I should move the hell. I should be, Susan Lucci, who moved? Who the hell?
I want you to imagine Mad Dog mad at the federal government, and then the federal government just punching him repeatedly in the stomach as he tried to say that.
I should move the hell. I should be, Susan Lucci, who moved?
I just feel bad for the guy with the hearing aids who can't hear it's time to board.
Seriously.
Going to Bozeman.
It was so good. His word choices were so good. Like he went all over the map, and he picked the perfect cities to send people to, and he threw the hearing aids at the guy in Miami, because I've seen him the last 3 days. Every time I'm over there, there's somebody wandering around because the government shut him out. It happened to Zaz. Zaz was that man with 3 hearing aids at the Atlanta airport.
Trying to get to Miami International.
How many ears you got?
Who disagrees with anything he said there?
Nope.
Nobody. He speaks for the American people.
Republicans, Democrats, you're all full of it.
Whether it's flying or it's frying, or whether he's talking about Susan Lucci or someone else, he moved me. He moved us all with part 1 and part 2 of Mad Dog Speaks for America.
When Mad Dog puts it in that context, the optics of the president doing play-by-play, it's a little rough.
It was great. A great choice. Talking to Jonathan Vilma.
Saints.
Look, this is what I tell Zaz this all the time. Zaslow Show 2.0. I say the thing that's the difference between the show he does and the show we do is, hey, Zaz, if you notice that when you're on your show, you don't get to laugh. You don't get to laugh because you're talking to yourself. So you're not going to make yourself laugh. He broke character laughing at himself in the middle of that. Like he was trying to stay in character, and he found himself too funny with his word choices. Can you play that back for me again? I want to hear the whole thing again.
Let's see. We have a very important, I think it's a very important couple of plays.
Here we go. Second and 7.
You're right, 2nd and 7. Let's see what happens. Whoa.
That's
all right.
Krosky Merritt.
Not bad.
Takes it down to the 5-yard line.
That's right. That's right. Good runner.
There we go.
The Jonathan Vilma going through the 2004 Saints is where he lost it, right? Where he's thinking to himself that the place where Mad Dog is losing it is he's thinking the reality is funnier than fiction, which is while my grandfather is walking around MIA because the government can't do anything, the president, who wants that stadium named after him, by the way, and probably will get it named after him, is doing that terrible play-by-play with Jonathan Vilma after 40 years covering sports. It's too much to stay inside of Chris Russo's head without him laughing at himself because of the absurdity of it.
Like, I should move the hell. I should be, well, who, Susan Lucci, who moved?
Done by the Dan Le Batard Show with Stugotz. We've stolen the exclamation point officially from Get Up. It's put after the word show.
So this is Act 1, Scene 2 of Macbeth. The stage instructions are: a camp near Fours. Alarm within. Enter Duncan, Malcolm, Donalbain, Lennox with attendants, meeting a bleeding sergeant.
I don't even know what that means.
Jessica, you will play the role.
All right, so wait, can we set the scene? Thank you, Mike. Can we set the scene, Mike, from high school? Can you give Chris Cody his motivation on, because he didn't even understand what Whittingham.
Am I happy?
Like, what,
Am I
Sergeant is
distressed?
bleeding.
What,
Okay.
In what
You're
condition does the distressed? Okay, very good. Good confidence there. Let's have the music that we need, Shakespearean music, and let's see if we can find our note here.
What bloody man is that? He can report, as seemeth by his plight of the revolt, the new estate.
This is the sergeant, who like a good and hardy soldier fought gainst my captivity. Hail, brave friend! Say to the king the knowledge of the broil, as thou didst leave it.
So true.
Doubtful it stood, as two spent swimmers that do cling together and choke their art. The merciless MacDonald, worthy to be a rebel, for to that. The multiplying villainies of nature do swarm upon him from the western isles. Of kerns and Gallowes glasses is supplied, and fortune of his damned quarrel smiling. Showed like a rebel's whore. Showed like a rebel's whore. But all's too weak for brave Macbeth. Well, he deserves that name. Disdaining fortune with his brandished steel, which smoked with bloody execution.
What?
Yes.
Like Valuor's minion carved out his passage till he faced the slave.
I feel your distress. I really do.
Which ne'er shook hands nor bade farewell to him till he uniseamed him from the nave
Rolling.
Don't let them deter you.
to the chaps and fixed his head upon our battlements.
O valiant cousin, worthy gentleman.
Ah, as whence the sun gins his reflection.
You missed your cue.
Shipwrecking storms and terrible thunders break. So from that spring whence comfort seemed to come.
Wait a minute. There wasn't a question mark there.
Discomfort swells Mark, King of Scotland, Mark, no sooner justice had with valor armed.
Oh, you think he's done?
Humbled these
Compelled.
These skipping kerns to trust their heels.
Not compelled. We need
But the
compelling.
Norwegian lord surveying vantage.
Which is it?
Furbished arms.
Vintage advantage.
And new supplies of men.
All right, we've
begin a fresh assault.
We've tested his
This
endurance.
is not this. Our captains, Macbeth and Banquo?
And scene.
You almost made it to the finish line. You started leaking confidence. It was not unlike the race outside in Freedom. You were very confident for a moment. The Eagles are 7-2. They have wins over the Packers, the Chiefs, Tampa Bay, and that Rams team. They're 4-1 against teams with winning records. They're the number one seed in the NFC. I know people talk about their offensive issues. The number of 3-and-outs they have, alarming for a team that has won 20 of 21 games. It's weird to see a team with that much firepower be constipated on offense. But that Rams game showed you, if you want them to beat you that way, they'll do it too. Like, if you want them to go ahead and throw it down the field to A.J. Brown, they will on 4th and 6, and Matthew Stafford will lose a game that if they played it again today, the Rams would be favored. And that's crazy to say. Like, because of the problems that Philadelphia is having on offense makes them look like they did yesterday. But I want to ask you guys something that I was thinking about during that game, because the margins are so small. Every week in the NFL, you're looking, the reason that the Patriots beat the Bucs is because Diggs got his toes in on 4th down in that small sliver of real estate, and it changed the entire football game. Do you think you can imagine how maddening to these disciplinarian coaches who want to control everything but can control so little pre-snap penalties are? And I want to articulate this in a certain way for the audience, because what these people do for a living is insane in its precision. They practice 8 and 9 hours a day, so they have this much of an advantage knowing where a guy is going to be, how they can get one step on somebody because the route has to be 8.3 yards, and we're going to practice it all week, 8 hours a day, and if you don't keep doing it, we'll get a younger person in here who would like this paycheck. It's a military school of we will be precise. To my way of thinking, there should not be a false start on offense at home the entire season from anyone on my team ever. The bare minimum is the snap count the way we're practicing all week. We're in meetings at night. You're away from your family. We are doing every single thing to make sure we're this much better than the other guy. Don't give me a false start the entire season when we're at home. Like, you guys explain to me how that happens with military soldiers who are being trained through fatigue and everything else. In the fourth quarter, the snap count is this. You don't jump unless you're the Eagles on the tush push. Then you can jump whenever you want. The refs will never call it.
I didn't realize you were such a hard ass as a coach.
Where was this when you were coaching the 13-year-olds?
Holy hell, Dan. I'm now playing scared.
Sitting next to Bobby Knight.
I just don't understand it. I just don't understand it. All you got to do is don't move until the quarterback does this. We know it, and the defense does it. Every time they tell it to us in the huddle, I just don't understand how it happens so much. I'll give you procedure penalties. I'll give you shifting penalties. I'm just talking about what they're doing all week. I can't imagine how exasperated coaches get with, really, it's 4th and short. I need a yard against them. They win the Super Bowl because they always get that yard, and no one gets it against them. Can you not give me a false start?
You're hitting a coach. You're hitting a player on the sideline like Gannon from Arizona.
I'm not. You
just bumped me.
I'm shivving the center with
that's worse.
I'm
the snap count. You have the ball in your hand.
It's the snap count.
You're kicking players in the ass during a game. That's what you're doing.
I just told you that's shiving. Not kicking a player in the ass is not as bad as shiving them with a metallic object that I hid in the locker room.
Shiving the center is quite the visual.
Do we need more tears?
Do you understand what I'm saying, though? I find this maddening. That game was decided by things like that.
I mean, the Dolphins have to lead the league in pre-snap penalties.
Definitely pre-game starting penalties.
Yeah.
Are you guys with me that you're now at the point where you expect that 64-yarder to go in at the end of the game, even if it's in a Lambeau winter?
I hate it. I hate it so much. One of the most fun things about football, when I was younger, was Marino gets the ball with 50 seconds left, and somehow he's got to get 60 yards in this final possession to set up a field goal. And now, you need like one 20-yard pass, and then the kicker can come in and win the game. I hate it.
What do you like about football?
The game.
I like.
You don't like football.
You're telling me you like kicking then?
You
You're
don't
a
like
huge fan
you
of
don't like kicking. You also don't like punching.
No.
You don't know about that. What about the punch yesterday? That was an important punch yesterday.
Can I give a PSA real quick? I'm tired of
You
everyone.
hate football.
Let me give a PSA real quick. You know what a PSA is?
Yes.
I can see you. You look like you don't know what one is.
Whoa.
You want me to tell Chris in case you
Jay-Z
don't know?
gave me a PSA. I know what it is.
Hey, that's my gimmick.
I'm tired of people sending me messages on Twitter when someone punches a ball out.
No, you're not. You love it.
I'm tired of it.
No, you're not.
It's
you know about
too
that
many.
landman?
It's too many.
No, that'll definitely
I'm
stop
so
it.
tired of getting, do you know about that landman?
What you're doing now will definitely stop it.
That's literally the message I'm getting. Do you know about that landman?
Every time there's a punch anywhere in a high school game, college game, or professional
sending
game.
it to me.
Last night it was a huge one. I mean, fellas,
Massive.
you never see Jalen Hurts. That never happens to Jalen Hurts.
Should have been illegal. I agree with Zaz. The punch, do away with it. Boxing ring? Okay.
That's right.
Football field? Nope.
That's right. You're literally allowed to. See, a guy got thrown out of a game the other day, right? Because he punched another player. But if that guy was holding a football, it'd been totally okay. Make that make sense.
Tony has made me laugh, today a couple of different times, but nowhere harder than when he comes in this morning, okay? We have something interesting happening in South Florida. We are the envy of the world
cold.
in this respect. Yeah, well, you say it's cold, but it was 53 was the low this morning. So the rest of the world is going through a winter, and there is legitimate cold all over the United States that is going to be really deeply unpleasant for people. But yes, it's 53 in South Florida, and all of us were rattled by this. But Tony came in, and this doesn't happen to him very often. He's a confident individual. He came in feeling a bit judged as inferior as he drove in, and I was surprised by it because it doesn't happen to him very often. What happened?
So on a beautiful day like this, you like to drive the car. You got the windows down a little bit. You're cruising, Greg. I know you like that. That nice little cool breeze going in.
Thank you.
Obviously, we come in the morning early. I'm usually here about 8 o'clock. And today was especially easy because there's no traffic.
Oh, the
Veterans
traffic.
Day.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Salute to the troops, by the
thank you
way.
for your service.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
So I'm driving in. People are out. I see joggers. A lot more joggers today. And I'm looking over and I'm like, they think they're better than us. Because it's cold outside and you're running. And you think, you're looking at me in the car saying, fat slob, you piece of shit. You're driving in the car.
So a lot of shirtless joggers today.
A lot of people jogging, Dan.
Smug shirtless joggers
They think
today.
they're better than us. Guess what? You're not. You're not better than us just because you run.
They are fitter than us.
Not as
They're
good as us.
Debatable.
Let alone not better.
Sometimes they're a little bit fitter. You don't see a lot of big people running. That's fine. You see thin people running, and that's fine too.
Superior people, they would say.
They would say that, and I would probably tend to agree if they are running in times that we would not be running. They are probably a little bit superior to us. But I felt the judgment from the car, and I looked at him, and I was like, I wanted to scream, "You suck!"
All right, put it on the
Yeah,
poll.
I do that.
Put it on the poll. You do that?
No, I belittle joggers. Like, I will pull up next to a jogger with my car and start going at the exact same pace that they're running, and then all of a sudden I'll gun it and leave them in the dust. And the car driver is superior. I mean, the jogger, he's going like 5 miles an hour. What do you got
Takes
to be
them
proud
forever
of?
to get there.
Yes, it takes them
Put
forever to
it,
get
put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. Does the jogger feel superior to you?
Don't even let me start up on the bikers, too. The people that think they're Lance Armstrong. The people that think they're on the Tour de France.
Oh, my
Guess
God.
what? You're not.
They're
Okay, you
dressed
don't have
up
to wear
like
the
that.
skin-tight shirts.
Yes.
And the pants that I can see your...
Oh, my
I don't
God.
need to see it.
Terrible.
How about you just... You can see it all. Dan, I know you talk... I know
feel
on
like
the beach they do that.
I feel like you guys are feeling judged by exercisers. Just yesterday on the show, Greg, you walked in with a cane. A couple of weeks ago, we were dissecting your trick knee on the board there, and it seemed like that happens because you sleep crisscross applesauce. Your knees are in bad shape. And I asked your son just yesterday, when do you think your father, last time he just put on clothes and went to go exercise? And he didn't know how to answer the question, but he thought that it was decades old and it had cobwebs on it.
Well, I'm not wearing biker shorts, I'll tell you that.
But when was the last time you purposely went out and said, because he said that you told your doctor when your doctor asked you, do you get any exercise? Well, I walk around the house.
Yeah, I have a long house. It's like a big L-shaped house. No, I do. I have a long house.
I would say it's just a standard house.
No, it's a long house.
It might not be it might not be a standard house, but it's not so long. It's a pool room, it's a family room, and it's 3 bedrooms and a kitchen.
Yeah, I fired that doctor, by the way. He's belittling my workout regimen. I'm walking up and down my house. He's going, no, I mean, yeah, cardio and sweat.
Just to be clear on what his long house is. It's 2 hallways. It's 2 hallways.
Long hallways.
A kitchen, a living room, a family room. It is 3 bedrooms.
A game room.
Okay, but that's the family room and a pool room. Yes, it's a substantive house. But when I think of length, I'm gonna say 3,000, 4,000 square feet, 4,000,
something like that.
4,000,
yeah, whatever.
It's a giant house.
3,000.
I'm telling you guys, Roy, I've seen your house. It's very similar size to your house.
Okay,
okay.
My parents' house, like they used to spend their money on vacationing. My parents' house is not a lavish house.
Greg's children's bedrooms are small children's bedrooms.
Right, I had small children.
So you've got.
I need your support.
Especially when they were young, they were like really, really small.
You have 3 bedrooms on one side of the house, a master bedroom and 2 bedrooms. That's 1 hallway. Then you have a living area and a kitchen and a pool table area.
And an eating area.
That's the kitchen.
The commissary.
The house is a normal length. No one would consider this exercise.
The point is,
You know
I'm
what?
doing a workout every day.
I'm going to do this. Next time I go to your house, I'm going to show, because when you say walk around the house, what you're talking about to your doctor is I walk from my office to the garage and back and forth. That's what you literally say. And that walk is probably 30 steps.
And it's to get a beer.
Right.
But when I'm going into the garage and out, I'm ascending and descending.
There's one
a large
step. There's one
That's
above
right.
average
There's
size
one step into the garage. There's one step.
And another one back out.
That's the same step.
Yeah.
Twice, though.
Different exercise.
It's not once, it's twice.
Once you're descending,
up and down.
once you're
If
ascending.
he had an Apple Watch, it would say 2 steps. It would say
I
getting.
do plenty, believe me. I get my exercise.
That's exercise to
It's
you.
about
thank
getting
you.
the heart rate up.
What would not be exercise to you, like the grandparents in Willy Wonka?
Not sleeping.
Greg, what is the last time you purposely tried to exercise?
I mean, I exercise every day of my life.
Greg, you put on gym clothes, you put on pants, and you said, I'm going to go for a walk outside, something.
I put on Jim's clothes. I borrow his clothes. I put on Jim's clothes.
I need your support.
But I see people running a marathon, right? And I'm like, all right, you're huffing and puffing for 3.5 hours. You know how fast my car can go 26 miles? I get the distance that you take 4 hours to run, my car can traverse in what? A few minutes?
20 minutes.
I like the idea of Greg riding side by side with the marathon and just screaming out his window, "Why?"
Grinning maniacally
That's
at them,
exactly.
keeping the same pace, and then speeding off with a cackle.
He peels out.
Why? That's the perfect question.
To be fit, to be healthy.
Come on, Jim Fix died. He crashed into a tree and died. The guy who invented running dies running.
Who invented running?
Jim Fix invented running.
Who the hell is Jim Fix?
All right.
Hey, look it up.
Everyone stop right now. This is a good segment. I want imaging for the next time he says look it up, because this is actually a priceless one, and he can help us with it back in my day, but I would like you to look up the history of Jim Fix, please. I would like the years of Jim Fix, and I would like to verify Greg Cody's accusation that Jim Fix, who invented running, died running by running into a tree.
With the tree thing, I'm a little vague on, but the inventor of running, recreational running, and exercise running, died running.
Okay, that's a good reason not to run. What is the backstory of Jim Fix? Can I get the back in my day music so that I can get the support, the factual support for what it is that Greg Cody is saying? Because, again, I will tell you that the key element to that story to me, which appears to be untrue, is that Jim Fix, the inventor of running, died running into a tree. That's the part of the story that got my
look at trees all around him.
The part that got my attention was that Jim Fixx was just running around, and the dangers of running are so bad that he ran into a tree, hit himself, and died on the side of the road.
This is a still photo, so it doesn't show it. What's about to happen in this photo is that Jim Fixx sees
true.
Diana Rossini's kids being attacked by a deer, and he runs to save Diana Rossini's 3-year-old, and he runs into a tree and dies.
Okay. Jeremy, what is accurate here?
James Fuller Fixx was an American who wrote the 1977 best-selling book, The Complete Book of Running. He's credited with helping start America's fitness revolution by popularizing the sport of running and demonstrating the health benefits of regularly jogging. He died of a heart attack while jogging at 52 years of age.
Hello!
Now, in Greg's defense...
No tree.
In Greg's defense, we don't know whether or not when he had that heart attack, if he happened to stumble into a tree, he maybe could have died while running into a tree.
This Jim Fixx thing is, you'd think my dad's joking. This is his reasoning for not being active. He has examples, friends of his, who were very active and have passed on. He has examples of people who were workout people, and they've passed.
So he won't wear Jim's clothes.
So he just has this theory of he doesn't believe it. He thinks he's gotten to where he's at without working out, so he's just like, I'm good.
Dan, this is like when your dad was like, oh, the guy that ate the salmon, that's why I don't eat salmon, because he was healthy
Thank you
and he died,
for the guy.
but then he didn't die.
It's a great story, Tony, and thank you for bringing it up because my father has been stubborn about this, and I need to tell this story. My father for years has said, tells the story this way. Fred Dreyer, former Rams tough guy, detective on television, famous football tough guy. He's like, Fred Dreyer every day for 20 years, all he ate, salmon and broccoli and went running. Salmon and broccoli and went running. Fred Dreyer died running, and that's why I don't eat salmon.
He ain't lying.
No, he was lying because Fred Dreyer's not dead.
Well, still, technicality.
No, but this is the thing. This is the part that my father's been telling this story for years now, and we called him on the internet. We showed him. We called him on it. We just showed him, hey, Dad, that story's not true. Fred Dreyer's still with us. He is not dead. He did not die from salmon while jogging.
Right.
You can eat salmon now. And he's like, I don't believe that.
Yeah, plus he'll die eventually.
Well, he's 79 years young right now.
Yeah,
There you go.
he's still alive. And you have not answered the question of when was the last time you exercised. I guess you're here not to take a quiz, but you have evaded the question. So it's been more than 10 years, though, yes?
Yeah, I'm not going to take a quiz, like you say. And I'm not belittling people who work out. I'm just saying it's not a panacea for health or longevity. You know, if you want to jog, if you want to run marathons, more power to you. If I want to run past you with a grin of a donkey eating briars while I run past you and leave you in the dust, I'm going to do that too.
Tony, he's been using that.
I don't know what to do with that one.
Tony, he's been writing, grinning
big salmon just fell right on the table.
Listen, Tone. He has been writing, grinning like a mule eating briars
or a donkey. They're interchangeable.
Yes, either one.
Yeah, God rest his soul, Edwin Pope, the great.
It's not even his line, Tony. He stole it from Edwin Pope.
Stole it from Pope?
That's all his line.
Listen, not only did he steal it from Edwin Pope, I recall laughing with your father at how overwritten it was. Like it wasn't a compliment to the late Edwin Pope, no longer with us, unlike Fred Dreyer. The late Edwin Pope, legendary columnist, Greg Cody, steals his lines, but that one we mocked. Grinning like a donkey eating briars, yet you can imagine it. A donkey just chewing on hay, but that's so past joggers, you're grinning like a mule or a donkey eating briars, and then you speed up and leave them in the rearview mirror. And if they were to look in your rearview mirror, what they would see is a human being grinning like a donkey eating briars.
While I'm shouting out the window, hee-haw, three!
Come on, Greg.
Tom now for top 5. Tony's top 5. Greg Cody saying he doesn't know his own lines. Tony, you got to help him with them. Hee-haw 3.
Luckily, that's OLI. Hee haw 3, Badea.
Thank you.
Roy, do me the favor of I'd like to get from earlier in the show his dueling hellos when he was right about something. I want to hear. I want you guys to hear the difference between Greg Cody roaring in the first hour with a hello that hasn't lost steam, and his hello in the third hour when he is losing steam. In the interim, top 5 Greg Cody sayings. Tone.
OLI, we had Hee haw 3, Badea. OLI number 2, bae.
This is a good
Which
list.
doesn't work with Jumpin' Charlie, I'm guessing.
Everyone
right?
was disappointed in that video last night that there was no bae.
What happened?
I know there should have been.
Well, so this is the backstory.
Called him a jerk.
Wait a minute.
He is a jerk at times.
Greg.
Yes.
Before sending your dog that chews up sofas and pillows, and you say is trained, away to boot camp, you told us that the way that you train the dog, Jumpin' Charlie, is by disorienting him with a sound that was bae. So that stopped working, and then you sent him off to boot camp. So you stopped doing the bae because the
Now
bae.
it's like, Charlie, stop it! Charlie, no!
No, the bae continues to be a disarming sound. Like if I need to distract him for whatever he's doing, and I hit him with a bae, it does get his attention. He gives me that cute.
I love when dogs do that.
The ear, the head.
The head
cock.
tilt.
Yeah, I love that.
This is a hell of an OLI.
It's a good OLI. Another OLI. Trailers for sale and rent.
Tony honors me with this list.
50
Rooms
cents.
to rent. Is it rooms to rent?
Yeah.
50 cents.
Right.
Number 5. This is a deep cut, but I like my Greg Cody deep cut. Okay. Number 5.
I would love if this ends with him weeping, sobbing, or some form of just getting emotional because of how you've touched him.
Number 5. Dummy up.
Yeah. Nice.
Can you explain dummy up to the audience that hasn't heard dummy up, Greg?
It's more like when you got to get ready for something. Like, get ready. Dummy up. Like, I'm coming inside right now. Dummy up.
If people are chattering and extraneous noise and everything, I'm like, dummy up, just basically.
Get focused.
It's a very polite way of saying quiet down.
Weird for you to choose that, Tony, given that I've never heard him say it.
Oh, no.
What?
That's,
You never
he's
heard of
right.
dummy up?
Yeah.
Come on.
The audience don't understand.
It would be a way like out here before our pre-show, like, hey, let's go, everyone. Dummy up. Let's go. We're going to talk right here.
Perfect. Yeah. Well
Number
played.
4. Hello.
Get me the dueling hellos because he was so right in the first hour.
Or injured leg.
Hello.
It's amazing. You became an old-timey 90-year-old showgirl.
Or injured leg.
Hello. Yeah, that was Ethel Merman. There's no question about it.
Or injured leg.
Hello.
Lois from Family Guy.
Or injured leg.
Hello.
Peter. Number 3. Brad.
Brad.
What a great list.
Whoa, Zaz just got hit with a taste of wetness.
Brad.
Zaz was truly disgusted by the gurgling bubble that came out of that first sound.
Brad.
I mean, I could smell that clip.
Thank you.
Well, it's Brad. Brad. Number 2. Baby.
Baby. Oh, yeah.
Much different than Burr.
It is. Totally different.
That's why baby's number 2. Obviously,
Yes.
it stands in the pantheon of Greg Cody sayings.
Thank you.
And number 1.
Oh, come on. We all
There
know
is no other phrase that Greg Cody is remembered by, says, that kind of thing.
That would have been your number 1 as well?
It might have been. Yeah. Or it might,
What about, he forgot, you never know.
Oh, you never know. Is a good
Forgot
one.
it. Forgot it while offering up, dumbing up.
I know, but
Dummy up's a good one.
and you know it, though, is Vince.
Oh,
Vintage.
and you know it.
Yeah, and you know it.
No
It's
back
vintage.
jack. That's a fact,
You know,
Jack.
there's a lot
It's
to
my
get
list,
to.
Dan. You create your own list.
Do it at home. Best list wins nothing. Have a contest. You might get some tears. I think it would have been wonderful if at the end somehow you had gotten the cadence on this, on a nostalgic, emotional Kane using Cody. If you got him just weeping at the end to Brad, to his burp where he's just so touched and so honored that your list was
Brad.
Oh, yeah.
Listen to the hello again and tell me you're not seeing someone at the end of a 1950s play come out, an old woman coming out and really hitting that last note, which she's really pleased with how everything's going.
Or injured leg.
Hello. It's like a vaudeville stage. That sound.
With Babe Ruth.
Hello. Poor Zaz. He's going, can we talk about Norman Powell some more?
Actually, Mike McDaniel
And you know
is where we're headed. The sound has now been confirmed. The video has been confirmed. The audio has been confirmed. That was indeed in a black mat car. Mike McDaniel trolling past the elbow room. The elbow room is filled with Bills fans. One of the most.
It is confirmed.
One of the most confusing victories of the year. After a confusing week in which the Dolphins do the rare thing of, hey, this is a rare thing, right? Everyone's in trouble. A week ago, all of us around here were howling, oh, my God, I've never seen it this way before with the Dolphins. It's going to be GM, coach, and quarterback all swept out to sea. Who's next? What's next? Everything's starting over. And then the owner says, nope, I'm going to get rid of the GM in season. Weird, unusual. But not the coach. I believe in the coach. I'm not going to trade the wide receiver. And now I'm betting on the quarterback for another year. I am going to bet on Waddle, McDaniel, and Tua. I'm stuck because that contract's going to be hard to move. And so next year I'm going to bet on maybe McDaniel, Waddle, and Tua can dig me out of this. They've got an easy schedule for a month. By the end of this month, we're not going to be saying McDaniel's lost his players anymore. Like, whatever happens the next couple of days, they may lose one of the games. They may win all three. Whatever it is, it's not going to be McDaniel. We're not thinking the next three opponents are so bad that if they put up a 6 points against Cleveland or a 6 points against Baltimore, you'd be confused by it.
I'm pretty sure they're going to be successful over this stretch. Like, I think they're going to be winning some games here.
So here's McDaniel, and in his own words, let's get the sound because he has confirmed that was indeed him swinging past.
Well, he hasn't confirmed it.
He did not confirm it.
Okay, you tell me what it is you guys hear here.
But there's a picture of you strolling down the elbow room, I guess near A1A. Looks like your car, looks like you, looks like your watch. Is that AI or is that real?
Well, that's why I like the good old days, the throwbacks of yore where you could trust, the internet and the images because, it is pretty detailed. I do live in that area, but, I mean, AI, right?
So that doesn't answer the question.
Well, I mean...
So are you confirming or denying?
I mean... I live in that area. AI is real. That's what I got for you.
That's great.
The jokester's back.
They're 3-7. Like, they're 3-7. I don't know. I look. I'll just say I think it's lame. They're 3-7. The Buffalo Bills, despite what the Dolphins did to them this past weekend, own the Dolphins. They own them for like a good 10 years now. They never beat them. So it's cool that the Dolphins beat them this weekend, but it's still 3-7 on the year. And like McDaniel's doing a victory lap around elbow room.
Is it lame if he literally is just driving to his house though?
Why is his window down?
And the arm out the window too.
It's a Sunday evening after he finally has a happy thought for the first time in 6 months.
It's a boss move, okay? He's gone from car crying to leaning out into the elbow room. He was car crying. Look, man, this dude was car crying.
He had elbow room.
By the way, when you drive down A1A, even if you're not around elbow room.
What? No, that come on, that's deserved.
His arm was out of the car.
That's
he had elbow
horse.
rim.
It's a
Room,
boss.
whatever.
It's a boss.
That
move.
kind of thing.
It's a boss move to roll down your window. When you're driving down A1A, you just roll down your window.
Yeah, you
That's
do.
what you do.
Hell yeah. Hello.
Tony, you had the hammer. You just had to hit him again in the
where
back
did
of the
rim
head.
come
Hammer,
from?
You got to use it.
Elbow room. Where did the rim come from? McDaniel stuck his elbow out and Zaz offended.
Driving a Bentley, too.
Again, doesn't like football. Guy does not like football.
It's just corny. They're 3-7.
Let me tell you something here. Okay.
Ooh, kitties.
With everything that McDaniel's been through this season, he's allowed to enjoy a big win over
You get
a
a night.
division opponent. He's
Everything
allowed
he's been
that.
through, you say that like somebody's done something to him.
Another thing, nobody deserves a comeuppance more than the Bills and Bills fans.
Plus, get out of our elbow room.
I was grinning like a donkey eating
Here we
briars earlier today when we were talking about has the Bills window closed. Has it ever opened? Listen, they haven't won anything since 1965. They haven't been in a Super Bowl since 1993. When Sean McDermott says at halftime, we got to get back to playing Buffalo Bills football. What kind of football is that exactly? Something that hasn't won in 60 years? What is Buffalo Bills football? The window was never open. The Bills were never better than the third team in the AFC when Lamar Jackson's healthy and Mahomes is playing. It's a fallacy that the Bills ever had a Super Bowl window. It hadn't shut because it hasn't never opened.
That is fire from Greg Cody. 60 years of losing football in Buffalo. This is the best hope they've had since those Super Bowl teams. But we have breaking news here that might make some of you grin like a mule or a donkey eating briars. Nico Harrison has been fired by the Mavs. I don't know what Greg Cody is celebrating by throwing his hands up in the air. Why? What do you?
I'm celebrating because for 2 years now, this has been a story that only that city cared about, but it's somehow become one of the biggest stories in the NBA because he makes an unpopular trade. His fans won't get over it, and now all of a sudden they get what they wanted, and now all the fans are happy again because they have their scapegoat.
Just to be clear, the report is that he will be fired at a 10 a.m. Central meeting, which will be in 6 minutes.
Well, Shams Charania followed up that tweet saying the Mavericks are firing Harrison.
Just wanted to make sure
I am so annoyed, Dan. I am so annoyed because you can confirm. Everyone can confirm. Tony, confirm.
Oh, wait a minute. You know what? I'm sorry.
So
he should be annoyed. We got distracted with Greg Cody Kane talk, and Zaslow had this story
so annoyed.
Hours ago, Zaslow had this story. He came in here saying, he did say this. This is true. Shams is 2 hours late to this story. Zaz came in here today saying, I've got locked down. Nico's going to be fired.
I'm so annoyed. Tony, I said that, right?
You did. You said
no,
it.
you came in.
You don't like football, but you said it.
We didn't get to it because Greg Cody was weeping and hugging a piece of wood. And that's what but you had that story before that. Zaslow, the journalist. Zaslow, the insider.
Here's the thing about journalism. If you have a big story, you sort of have to break the news.
You're right.
You have to tell somebody that you know.
No, I did tell them. I didn't say it into the microphone yet.
He had it, and I got distracted. Look, I'm going to take 100%. This is on me. Zaz has so much news. Zaz has so many journalism credentials. Zaz is spilling content. He told us before the show, hey, I got that Nico Harrison's going to be fired, and I didn't get to it. That's the God's honest truth. He was to this story 2 hours before Shams, and he said he had it locked down.
8:47 a.m. I looked at you guys, and I said, I'm going to mention on the show today that Nico Harrison is getting fired.
Yeah, it's a Shams that you never got to it.
I still don't understand why you threw your arms up in the air when Nico Harrison was fired as if you had won something.
No, because finally, I didn't predict it.
I mean,
super
it would have been
baffled.
pretty
easy to predict, but I never predicted it.
That's not what Zaslow was doing. Zaslow was going to report it. He was not going to predict it. He won.
But then he never got around to
reporting
it.
We had graphics and that's true, but it's my fault. It's not his fault. It is absolutely my fault because, again, I was distracted by you hugging a piece of wood.
Pre-snap penalty by you.
I had to get to my take on false starts. It was more.
Could have fit in right there.
That would have been a good place to get to it, but instead I was railing for 9 straight minutes about the idea that there would be pre-snap penalties.
Nobody hates a false start more than you.
Had to talk about Jim Fix. Instead, I could have my name up there. Jonathan Zaslow was reported.
I broke the news he died running into a tree.
Hello.
Thank you.
Dan, I'm so annoyed.
No, you should be. I'm just still laughing at how right Greg Cody is.
Thank you.
At how good that hello is, because I want to show you the difference at some point between the first hello and the second hello, so you see how you peter out.
No, the second one's better. You put it on the poll.
Hello.
We'll get to the second one in a second, but before Zaslow, I'm sorry. I want to publicly apologize to you, privately apologize to you. This one is all my fault. He had this story 2 hours ago. But what do you make of it now that it's so? Because rare as an executive. I was confused, Greg, by your take, something only people cared about regionally, whether a GM.
Yeah, that's not true.
We learned this man's name, and I would say the general public learned this man's name as a reason to laugh at incompetence, as a joke on the internet. The Dallas Mavericks, who used to be run by Mark Cuban, are now run by a buffoon as they go through an ownership transition, because nobody ever in the history of sports makes this trade without at least calling around. It's not Anthony Davis, broken player for huge superstar in his prime. Lakers are going to be fine for 10 years if he stays healthy, and they have their transition out of LeBron. Nico Harrison is the face of sports executive incompetence. He's been running afoul of ownership here since lucking into Cooper Flagg, who's supposed to be a franchise player, but the Mavs don't look very good for a lot of reasons.
And his response to that was, I'm glad the fan base is finally starting to see the plan.
The plan to get lucky and get
They
a
had
guy
like
who's...
a 1% chance.
He would have had that spot, by the way.
The plan. Look, he obviously deserved to be fired. The team is 3-8. He said the window to win is right now, which is why they're making the trade. And the guy that they made the trade around, the reason that they only called the Lakers and did not call around was because of everyone in the league. Nico Harrison identified Anthony Davis as the guy that he wants. And that guy never plays. He's never available. The team is 3-8. They're terrible. But here's also the thing now. The ownership is firing Nico Harrison, and it's like, holy shit. You allow the general manager to make a franchise-altering move. At the very least, you can argue that the ownership wanted him to make the deal. I don't believe that. But you do have to agree that the ownership has to sign off on the deal. So you sign off on that deal?
And as an added bonus, just so people understand sort of the reverberating historical context on this, it is the single most stunning and heartbreaking trade in the history of all sports in that market. There has been nothing close. There's nothing, a close second place to you allowed an executive who is now fired 18 months ago to make the single most stunning and heartbreaking decision in the history.
8 months ago.
In the history of the market.
Yeah, 8 months ago. You allow him to alter the course of your franchise, and then you don't let him see it through? Now, it never should have happened in the first place, but you can't allow him to make this move and then fire. It's not like you get a do-over on the move.
So, like, what do you see through? An Anthony Davis who doesn't look great, who's not playing. Kyrie Irving, who's hurt. We don't know when he's going to come back. Cooper Flagg, who, okay, he's good right now, but let's see what it is. Like, how long? He said they've got a 3 to 4 year window.
If you're willing to say you got it wrong in such a short period of time, you can't allow this big of a move to be made in the first place.
If 8 months later he's worthy of being fired, that's not a person who should be in charge in the power structure of being allowed to do that. If 8 months later you're going to decide this person is not the person for the job,
it's crazy.
And so what ends up happening there, and this is the part that doesn't get talked about enough, like, you had an ownership change there that didn't have an appreciation for what the value of this asset was. And so they desecrated everything that Mark Cuban did there. Like, they just didn't understand what they were doing because they put a boob in charge and allowed him to make the most seismic trade, and then becomes the fall guy for the economics of, you didn't want to give the guy you worried was going to be fat hundreds of millions of dollars.
I think this signifies what you don't see all that often, which is the power of fans. I think if the Dallas fans hadn't reacted as if their franchise had committed mutiny.
This is not the power of fans. This is the weakness of ownership. This is not the power of fans.
I don't think if those fans reacted the way they did, that he would necessarily have been fired right now.
The Dallas Mavericks had like a 20-year sellout streak at home. It ended last night.
Greg, I understand that the groundswell would have happened in any market with this superstar. Any market like this, Dallas is not a unique sports market. Any market would have been outraged by the everything of that.
Yeah, but this was sustained. This was 18 months later or whatever.
No, as he said, 8 months later, and I'm going to say it again to what Zaz is saying. Like, as a show of incompetence from leadership, The scar that this leaves on Dallas sports is permanent. You will rarely find in the future, you won't find in the past, something that will hurt the Dallas fan base like this to know that a bozo traded away a superstar in his prime who's never available, and 8 months later, new ownership decided that he was a bozo. Oh yeah, you were right. Like that's a level of leadership and competence that has very little precedent in a market. Like, you just don't get a superstar like that has that emotional connection of, oh, we get to watch the next 10 years of hope there. He's better than everybody. And we chose a GM over him and a player who can't play ever.
Hello. Folks, listen up. All your favorite NBA players are back, and DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, is the place to bet on NBA stars this season. New customers, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app, use code DAN, that's code DAN, bet $5 and get 3 months of NBA League Pass, plus get $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins, in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours. Yeah.